It's October 10th, a few miles outside of the village of Konoha, more commonly known as the village hidden in the leaves. Today was the day a tragedy happened, and today was also the day a legend was born. "I'm a father," Minato said, smiling. He was looking at his wife who had just given birth. The nurses that came with them were holding the baby and walking around his room. The new parents quickly turned their heads in shock when they heard a scream. What they saw shocked them. Bawako and the other assistant nurse were on the ground, dead. An ominous figure standing above them holding a small blonde baby. "Who are you?" Minato asked, staring at the ominous figure. He had long, waist-length black hair and glowing red eyes that shone the Sharingan. He was wearing a black long-sleeved shirt and black pants. Over that he wore dark red armor plates that were held together by straps. "I am Madara Uchiha," Madara said ominously. Minato's eyes widened. But how? You're supposed to be dead." Minato said disbelievingly. This had to be transformation jutsu of some kind, right? "That would be because of me," a voice behind Madara said. A man with pale skin, red hair and strange, hypnotic eyes appeared. He wore a black mesh shirt and a red robe with a beige inner lining. Underneath he wore black shinobi pants with black shinobi shoes. His odd, hypnotic eyes were purple with rings around the small dot-like pupil. The man looked to be in his middle to late teens. "I am Nagato," Nagato said, studying the new parents in front of him. "The Rinnegan. How did you keep Madara alive? It's been well over 100 years, Minato said in a shocked tone. "Whenever he got low on life force and die, I would resurrect him. It's one of the Rinnegan's abilities," Nagato said, looking at Madara who was holding the newborn baby. "Now, Fouth Hokage, step away from the Jinchuriki or your son dies," Madara said evilly, smiling down at the child in his arms. "No, wait, please. Just calm down," Minato said frantically. "I am calm. Speak for yourself," Madara said. Behind him, Nagato was watching the scene and saw Minato would give his life for his son. He started to rethink a lot of things. He rethought if the plans to destroy the leaf were really worth it. Madara then threw the child into the air. He raised a kunai to stab the child. There was a flash of yellow. The baby was in the arms of Minato, who was now on the wall. "Well, I must hand it to the yellow flash. Your name is true after all," Madara said. Nagato stared with wide eyes. "SSSSSS." Minato looked down to see multiple paper bombs on the boy's blanket. He quickly threw it and Hiroshined away, begrudgingly leaving his wife. After he knew the baby was safe, he Hiroshined to his house and put him into a crib. "I'll be back. I have to save your mother," he said, Hiroshining away again. He appeared next to an almost dead Kushina on the ground and the nine-tailed fox about to strike. Luckily, he got there in time to save his wife. He Hiroshined to his house and laid his wife down next to his baby boy. She hugged the small boy and cried. Minato took on a pained expression and put on his cape. He then went to the battlefield. At the battlefield, the Kyuubi was now in the middle of the village, its tails lashing out and killing shinobi left and right. Suddenly, Sarutobi, the third Hokage, arrived on the scene to see the fox making a purple ball of chakra. "If we get hit with that, we're finished," he thought until he saw a poof of smoke. A giant toad appeared and landed on the fox's back, knocking it off balance. But no one noticed the two people riding on top of the Kyuubi's head. "Minato!" the shinobi yelled in relief. Before anyone could say more, the fox disappeared, only for an explosion to occur outside the village moments later. Sarutobi looked around for any able-bodied shinobi who could back him up until he saw Minato's student Kakashi and Kakashi's rival guy. Deciding it was possibly his best choice, he signaled for them to follow as he took off in the direction of the explosion. With Minato. Minato was now on the ground panting heavily. He had just transported Kyuubi, his family, Madara, Nagato, and himself miles from the village. He looked up to see Madara was now on the ground and Nagato was getting up slowly. "I know I can't match someone with the Sharingan or the Rinnegan," Both definitely not. What do I do? Minato thought, watching his opponents recover themselves slowly. Fourth Hokage. You are a very skilled opponent, but I will destroy the leaf, Madara said. Madara and Nagato then jumped onto the Kyuubi again. Minato quickly picked up Kushina and his child. He then summoned a small bed for sealing. He laid the boy down into the bed and took on a saddened look. What are you doing? Kushina yelled, seeing the familiar arrangement. I'm going to seal the Kyuubi into him. There's no choice, he said sadly, looking at the child with a single tear falling from his eyes. No, why not someone else? You can't. He's your son, Kushina protested before she coughed up a small amount of blood. Kushina, Minato yelled. Running to her side, Madara commanded the fox to attack. The Kyuubi brought down its giant claw. It didn't make it to the target. Just before the claw slashed the defenseless baby in half, Kushina and Minato jumped in the way, stopping the claw. Madara smiled in delight. The Kyuubi just saved him lots of time while Nagato winced and stood there shocked. They loved their child enough to die for him. Quick! I'm going to have to seal it now, Minato said in a hurried voice, pulling himself off the beast's claw. Please, I want to see him when he's grown up, Kushina said, not wanting to leave her son. Okay, save your chakra, Minato said. Kushina nodded. Madara watches the scene and his smile disappeared. He was about to jump off the fox's head and kill Minato before he could seal the beast when he heard the words. Forbidden Seal Jutsu, Reaper Death Seal, Minato yelled. Suddenly, the Kyuubi shrank down a size, knocking Madara and Nagato down its back. Damn you, fourth Hokage, Madara yelled in outrage, Sharingan flaring. At this point, Sarutobi, Kakashi, and Guy had just arrived to see Minato seal half the Kyuubi into himself. With Sarutobi, Kakashi, and Guy, they had just arrived to see Minato use the Reaper Death Seal, and Sarutobi was stunned. There was also a very strong barrier to keep people out and the Kyuubi in. I can't believe he used that jutsu, Sarutobi said. Kakashi and Guy looked at him. What do you mean? Kakashi asked. Reaper Death Seal is a forbidden technique. It allows the user to seal something into themselves in exchange for one's soul, Sarutobi said grimly. Then why is the Kyuubi still there? Guy asked. Sarutobi looked into the barrier that spoke. I think he is sealing half into himself and half into his child in that bed, Sarutobi said. Kakashi and Guy quickly turned and scanned for a child. They saw the crib, then the boy inside. They had a kid? Guy asked in a shocked tone. Kakashi and Sarutobi nodded. Will Minato-sensei be okay? Kakashi asked, not wanting to believe his whole team and sensei would be dead. No, at the amount of chakra he has now, he's not going to make it through the ceiling, Sarutobi said in a grim tone. Kakashi's face fell into sadness and the old man had to turn away. Minato, I hope you know what you're doing, Sarutobi thought. Back with Minato. I have to seal the rest now, Kushina. Can you hold Kyuubi down a little longer? Minato asked. Kushina nodded in reply. Good, Minato said, then went through the many hand seals. He forgot something. Madara and Nagato were still on the Kyuubi. Sealing Jutsu, 8 trigrams seal. He yelled. There was a flash of light. Everyone just expected Kyuubi to be gone. That wasn't the case. To Kushina's shock, Kyuubi, Madara, Nagato, and Minato were all gone. The seal glowed red on the child's stomach, then faded to black. Sarutobi, Kakashi, and Guy ran up to the scene, expecting to see Minato on the ground with Kushina. They were shocked when he wasn't there and thought maybe he burned so much chakra he burned up. Meanwhile, while they were looking around for Minato in case he was still in one piece, Kushina was drawing in her final breaths. She looked to her child and saw black chakra seep into the seal and assumed it was Madara. Then purple chakra she assumed was Nagato, red chakra she knew was the Kyuubi, and then normal blue chakra which she was shocked to know it was Minato. The 3 who had just arrived gave up looking and ran up to her. Sarutobi held up her head for her to speak. She coughed out blood then spoke. Please, Take care of Naruto, she said loud enough for them to hear. They all looked to the child who was now crying. Kushina closed her eyes for the last time and Ha1 thought. Good luck, Naruto. Kushina thought before her life faded from her reach. I promise, Kushina, Kakashi said, taking Naruto in his arms. Guy and Sarutobi smiled at the sight. Meanwhile, inside the seal something astonishing was happening. Inside the seal, /n. I'm adding some new things into the seal. It won't be totally different, but it will have new features. They were all inside a sewer, a ginormous cage behind them. They looked around in shock and heard a baby crying. They then looked at a wall to see a large screen to see what looked like a perspective view of someone. Minato recognized the mask and gasped. Kakashi, Minato said in shock, watching his son's view of the world show on the screen. All three other beings in the seal turned to Minato, who was watching his son's view, and started to get angry. Madara walked right in front of Minato and got his attention. Hey, why did you seal us all in here? And more importantly, how did you get in here? Madara said in an angry tone. Minato looked around and noticed that they were in a sewer. I forgot you were on the QB and I don't know how I got in here. I might have put too much chakra into the seal, Minato said in a calculating tone. That was when they heard a deep growl from behind them. They turned to see the QB sitting upright, tails lashing out in anger. Fourth Hokage, how dare you? I get sealed into a brat like this and now I have to live out his days with all of you in here to annoy me. QB growled out in anger. Madara smiled evilly and walked up to the cage. Hello QB. How is my little pet today? Madara asked in a chakra-laced voice. QB growled in reply. Well, it is a bad predicament we're all in, isn't it? Now we have to watch your son's life through his eyes. But then again, we could get to watch your son's life and see how he turns out. Besides, since we're all in a seal, we can't die, so let's enjoy it. Nagato said for the first time. His statements shocked all the three other tenants, and when they turned to him, they saw him watching the screen with pure interest. He's not really a bad kid. He was just influenced. He seems to have turned around now, Minato thought with a smile. Then he frowned and turned to Madara. What are you planning to do while in the seal? I can't kill you in here, but I at least want to know what you'll do, Minato said, eyeing Madara. Madara just chuckled at the look. Really? You are afraid I would try to hurt your son? You should know that since I'm stuck here too, I can't get my revenge. I'll probably just do what you do till I die. Besides, I want to see how your son turns out, Madara said, looking at the screen with interest. Nagato and Minato smiled. They were all in agreement they wanted to see how the boy would turn out. Now they would just sit back and watch. By the way, Nagato, how old are you exactly? Minato asked. Looking at Nagato, the boy smiled and answered. I'm 17 now, and always will be now that I'm in this seal, Nagato said. Madara and Minato chuckled at his last remark. They heard a fierce growling behind them. They all turned to the QB, who was the only one in a cage. You honestly expect me to help your son in any way? You used an 8-trigram seal. You want the brat to draw my power? The most I do without consent is to heal him quickly. Other than that, I refuse to help him. If he is stupid enough to come in here, I'll eat him, QB said. This made all the other three tenants' eyes widen comically. You will not hurt my son, Minato yelled, outraged. You will not hurt this kid, Madara yelled in a chakra-laced voice. You will not hurt Naruto, Nagato yelled, using the boy's name. And why not? I'm a tailed beast and he is my Jinchuriki. I can influence him any way I want, QB said, making Nagato's eyes widen. He ran forward to the front of the cage and glared at the beast. No, you will not influence little Naruto, Nagato yelled. He already liked the boy and he didn't know why. Then he noticed the QB gasp when he saw his eyes. T the Rinnegan? But only old man Six Paths. How did you get those eyes? QB said in a shocked tone. Everyone was completely interested now. I don't know. I awakened them when my family. He cut off, not wanted to talk about it. Okay, human. If you want to help the kid, then I will too. But only because you have the eyes old man Six Paths had. But if I get that chance, I will try to take him over. QB said. This shocked everyone. The QB was actually offering to help someone? QB, are you going soft? Madara asked with a chuckle. This made QB growl. Just go away. I'm going to take a nap, QB said before laying down. After a little bit, they heard a loud snoring. They all sweat dropped at the action. They all turned back to the screen and saw that Naruto was now in Sarutobi's arms at a council meeting. They decided to keep listening. As I'm sure you all know, Minato Namikaze, our beloved fourth Hokage, died, sealing the QB into Naruto here. Sarutobi said, holding up Naruto to face the crowd. They heard Naruto make a gurgling sound, then a small giggle that could only come from a baby. The three people in his mind smiled at the sound. It was the cutest thing they had ever heard. Then the smiles turned into frowns as they saw the council's reactions. There was shock, angry, fear, and some even stood from their seats and yelled. Kill the demon, one council member yelled, earning a growl from Minato. Kill the QB, another villager screamed, earning a lot of agreement from the civilian side. The three people in Naruto's mind saw that the shinobi side wasn't acting fearful or scared. This earned a nod of agreement from Madara. I say we let the villagers do the honors. Another person yelled, earning a scowl and small killing intent from Nagato. Of course, only people in Naruto's mind felt it. Silence! Sarutobi yelled, getting all attention back on him. He sat Naruto upright on the table so he was sitting, facing the council. Naruto possibly had the best view of the room besides Sarutobi. The boy looked around slowly with small blue eyes landing on a picture of the Yondaime Hokage. Minato chuckled as the boy laughed in delight. I wonder what he's thinking, Minato said to the others before being cut off by loud shouts. They saw Naruto had turned his head towards the sound to see the civilian side of the council yelling out more threats. If I may interject, a person from the shinobi side yelled, getting all attention on him. Minato recognized it as Shikaku Nara. Yes? What is it? Do you agree to get rid of that monster? A random civilian asked harshly, pointing at Naruto. They were all shocked when Shikaku, who was usually calm, shot some killing intent at the villager. I was going to ask, do you understand sealing at all? Shikaku asked in an angry voice. All the shinobi were shocked at the emotion in Shikaku's voice. Yes, I makes him the human form of the QB. He is just the demon in disguise. We must kill him before he regains his strength. Another villager yelled. At this point, everyone felt an incredibly strong kill intent come from the door. They all turned to see a very pissed-off Kakashi walk into the room and glare at the villager. He picked up Naruto in his arms and walked over to the villager. Does this small boy really look like the QB reborn to you? Kakashi asked in an angry tone, holding Naruto in his arms. It's just the QB in its human form. We must kill it, the villagers yelled, some even jumping at the boy, only to be held back by some clan heads. Sealing doesn't work that way, he is just the container. He is not the demon, Shikaku and Kakashi yelled in outrage. This earned smiles from the three in Naruto's mind. He's already corrupted you. He has control of your mind to make you say that. Some villagers yelled, this earning facepalms from all the people in Naruto's mind, even QB facepalmed. Are they really that stupid? Nagato asked in an astonished voice. Madara and Minato could only nod. Okay, how about this? Shikaku said as he took out a scroll and a kunai. The people in Naruto's mind recognized that example and smiled. There's no way they won't understand this simple sealing example, Nagato said, earning nods of agreement from Madara and Minato. Now, I have sealed the kunai into the scroll. Try to attack me with it, Shikaku said, throwing the scroll to the villagers. Quickly, the villagers ran at Shikaku and hit him on the arm. It did nothing. See? Even if little Naruto over there carries the QB, he is just the container. The beast is inside the seal on him. It isn't Naruto himself, Shikaku said in a calmer tone. You expect us to believe that? Even if he is just the container, the Kyuubi will possess him and kill everyone. A random villager yelled, earning yells of agreement from the rest of the villagers. Everyone in Naruto's mind face-bombed again. How is it even possible for someone to be this stupid? Nagato asked. Madara and Minato agreed. They are blinded by hatred, Minato said, earning a nod from the other two people. Silence, Sarutobi yelled, making everyone go quiet. The fourth Hokage's last wish was for Naruto to be treated as a hero, Sarutobi stated, remembering a letter he read on his desk before going to fight Kyuubi. Most of the civilian council scoffed at the wish. How can we treat a demon as a hero? A random villager said with a mocking tone. Kakashi, could you please take Naruto out of the room and into my office? Sarutobi asked. Kakashi nodded and walked out of the room, cradling Naruto in his arms. Kakashi looked down at Naruto as he was walking down the hall. I can't believe how idiotic they can be, Kakashi said softly to Naruto, staring at his features closely. You honestly do look so much like Minato-sensei. You are basically a carbon copy if you take away the whiskers, Kakashi said, chuckling at the last part. Wait, he has whiskers, Nagato asked. Don't tell me he has whiskers, Madara said as Minato was going to look at the baby boy's face on the screen. Oh. Please don't tell me I gave him the whiskers, Kyuubi said, knowing that if the boy had whiskers he would be made fun of and be pointed out as the Jinchuriki. Minato looked at the screen and everyone screamed. No, he has whiskers. All of them screamed, fearing he had the whiskers. If he did, he would be pointed out and never taken seriously. This they knew for a fact. Kakashi and Naruto were now in the office and Kakashi sat down in a chair. He looked at Naruto again. I wonder what they'll do with you. They probably won't let you live with Shinobi. At least if they don't adopt you first. Since your father had so many enemies, you will probably keep the name Uzumaki. I wonder if I could adopt you. They probably won't let me, but I could try. Kakashi trailed off in thought. At least there's someone I can trust to try to take care of him, Minato said. After about 10 minutes, Sarutobi came into the office with a frown on his face. Well, it appears that Naruto will be going to the orphanage, Sarutobi said. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. I thought Tsunade and Jiraiya were his godparents. What about them? Kakashi asked. The three in Naruto's mind listened to the reason intently. Tsunade and Jiraiya, I have seen them from the shadows before. This kid has some good links. The fourth as his father, the scariest kunoichi in the world as his mother, two of the legendary three as his godparents. This kid will be unstoppable, Madara all but yelled out. Jiraiya? Jiraiya-sensei? Nagato asked, getting a shocked expression from Minato. He was your sensei too? Minato asked. Nagato nodded and they both smiled. They would definitely get along well. Well, the council is refusing to contact them because, well, they agreed to tell them Minato, Kushina, and Naruto all died. Sarutobi trailed off, trying to ignore the enraged face of Kakashi. What? But why? They could protect him. They are the legendary Sannin, one of the legendary three. Why would you tell them he died? Kakashi asked in an angry tone. Because the boy's father had many enemies. If he is watched over by the Sannin, then his father's enemies would come after him, Sarutobi said. The three in Naruto's head were fuming. Not good enough, they all yelled in anger. Well, I guess he'll be an orphan like me, Nagato said sadly. Madara and Minato nodded. So he'll be going to the orphanage? They'll kill him, Kakashi yelled in anger. No, I passed a law forbidding anyone from talking about it. If they do break that law, the punishment is death, Sarutobi said. Fine, Kakashi said in defeat. Sarutobi took Naruto and made his way to the orphanage. You will be a hero someday. I can feel it. Good luck, Naruto Uzumaki. Sarutobi said. 5 years later, a small, 5-year-old boy with blonde hair, blue eyes, and whisker marks on his cheeks was running through the streets. This boy was Naruto Uzumaki, and as far as anyone knew, he was the Kyuubi's Jinchuriki. But there was a secret no one knew. He also carried Minato Namikaze the fourth Hokage, Madara Uchiha, and Nagato Uzumaki within him after an accident in the sealing process. 1 year ago, the staff at the orphanage had kicked him out, and now he lived in his own apartment. Right now, he was running for his life. "Just leave me alone," Naruto yelled at the mob of villagers running after him. He turned a corner and was scared to find a dead end. Oh no, he thought. He turned around to find the villagers were coming around the corner. He was even scared more to see a few Chunin in the crowd. "You're going to die today, demon," one of the Chunin yelled. Naruto just kept backing away till he felt the wall behind him. He looked up at the crowd with pure fear. He braced for the pain when he heard the whistle of a kunai being thrown. It hit him in the leg. He screamed and grabbed his leg in pain. He opened his eyes to see the kunai sticking out of his leg. He was going to pull it out when he heard more whistling noises. He screamed in pain again as several kunai hit him in the leg, arms, stomach, and one flew by his face, just giving him a bleeding cut. He couldn't move anymore. He just laid down and waited for the pain to come. The three people in Naruto's head winced as they heard Naruto's muffled screams ring out in his head. After about 5 minutes of internal screaming, they had to cover their ears when one of the Chunin in the crowd came up and bent his leg backwards, causing his to let out a blood-curdling scream. Finally, after 5 more minutes, the Chunin in the crowd were going to use a small fire jutsu on him. It wouldn't kill him, but it would give him lots of pain. They made the hand signs for the fire jutsu, and when they were about to use it, they were stopped by 4 angry faces and 1 mask, but underneath the man was fuming. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" Kakashi and Asuma yelled. /N. All the characters looked the same as in the anime. "Oh, so you're going to protect that freak?" one of the Chunin yelled, earning a boost in killing intent. "Asuma, look after Naruto. I'll deal with these people," Kakashi said in an angry voice. Asuma nodded and ran quickly to Naruto's side. Naruto's vision was very shaky. It would blur into focus then out again. Even though his vision was blurry, Naruto could make out 4 worried faces looking down on him now. One was a woman with black hair and red eyes. The second lady had purple hair and brown eyes. He somewhat recognized the other one. It was Asuma. He had brown eyes and black hair. The last one was an ANBU with a weasel mask, black hair, and Naruto could see 2 coal-black eyes. He could easily tell they were all worried. "Kurenai, do you know any medical ninjutsu?" the ANBU asked frantically to the girl with black hair and red eyes. "No, I don't. Anko, do you?" Kurenai asked the girl with purple hair and brown eyes. "No, and I know the hospital won't accept him. The last time they did, they tried to poison him," Anko said with anger in her features. At this point, Kakashi was running up to Naruto. He looked down with a worried expression. Naruto was blinking very slowly, barely holding on to consciousness. "Itachi, do you have any bandages?" Kakashi asked the ANBU. "No, I don't," Itachi said in a worried voice. They all looked down at Naruto again with worried expressions. "I can't feel my leg," Naruto said between breaths. When Anko quickly grabbed the leg and twisted it forward, so it would heal correctly, everyone inside and outside Naruto's mind visibly winced when Naruto let out another blood-curdling scream. "Anko!" Itachi, Kurenai, Asuma, and Kakashi yelled. They watched as Naruto held his leg in pain and cried out. With pained expressions, they continued to watch. "Itachi, use your Sharingan," Asuma said. Itachi nodded and activated his Sharingan, making Naruto go into a daydream-like state. The boy just stared ahead to show it had worked. He looked around at everyone who had worried expressions on their faces. He wondered if Naruto had seen anything he shouldn't have. "Do you think he saw anything that would hurt him?" Asuma asked in a concerned voice. Everyone frowned and Itachi had an idea. "Do you want me to go into his mind and see if he saw anything?" Itachi asked. Everyone nodded, looking at Naruto's sleeping face. Okay, I will need a small amount of time, Itachi said as he looked into Naruto's staring blue eyes. Then he was in a sewer. He walked around for a little bit till he felt a powerful presence. He followed it and came into a large room. He saw a ginormous cage at the front of the room, and on the wall he saw a large screen showing what all Naruto saw. He saw himself on the screen. Staring into Naruto's eyes, he admitted that it looked pretty creepy. Then he saw 3 people in front of the screen watching it. They all turned and he was shocked. He saw the 4th Hokage, Madara Uchiha, and another person, possibly a teen he didn't recognize. "Hello, Uchiha," Madara said. Itachi shivered at the voice. "Hello, Itachi," Minato said happily. "Hello, I'm Nagato," Nagato said. Itachi slowly walked up to the 3 and his eyes lingered over to the cage where the cage was. Inside, he saw the 9-tailed fox staring at him with its blood-red slitted eyes. He finally made it to the 3 and stared at them. "How are you all in Naruto and why?" he said in a slightly panicked voice. Minato saw this and tried to comfort him. "It's okay, Itachi, let us explain," Minato said. "When Kyuubi was getting sealed into Naruto, this idiot forgot we were on its head," Madara said, pointing at Minato. "And I put too much chakra into the seal and accidentally sealed myself in along with them," Minato said, smiling sheepishly. "Okay, so let me get this straight. Madara and Nagato were on the Kyuubi's head and you forgot, sealing them in along with it. Then, you pushed too much chakra into the seal and got yourself sealed into your own son along with them?" Itachi asked. All of them nodded, making Itachi sweat drop. Itachi looked over all of them as if he was studying them until he saw Nagato's eyes. "Our Rinnegan?" Itachi said, shocked. Minato and Madara chuckled. "I had the exact same reaction," Minato said with a laugh. "Okay, so now Naruto has the Kyuubi, his father, a Sharingan user, and a Rinnegan user sealed inside him?" Itachi said, exasperated. "Yeah. Yes, yep, yeah," all of the people in Naruto's seal said at the same time. "Well, this is surprising," Itachi said, looking at Naruto, who suddenly appeared on the floor. He was asleep though. "Huh. Well, that's a first," Minato said, looking at the sleeping form of his son. "That's the first time he's come in here," Nagato said, walking up to the sleeping boy. He looked at his closed eyes and smiled. "He's sleeping though," Nagato said. Everyone looked at the sleeping form of Naruto and smiled when Nagato started to tickle Naruto's whiskers. Naruto started to make sneezing noises in his sleep because Nagato was tickling him. Everyone laughed. "That has got to be the cutest thing I've ever seen," Madara said with a small smile. Nagato walked back to Minato's side and looked at Itachi. "So what are doing in little Naruto's mind?" Nagato asked. Itachi just smiled. "I was checking to see if he saw anything he shouldn't have, like them revealing Kyuubi or seeing Kakashi massacre those people. But it appears he didn't, otherwise he would probably not be sleeping right now," Itachi said with a chuckle and a glance at the boy on the floor. "No, he didn't see anything he shouldn't have. By the way, I really need to tell someone this in case it happens, but if Naruto were to ever have the Sharingan implanted into his own eyes, because of my DNA he would be able to unlock it, then activate and deactivate it. Of course, since it's my DNA, he would be able to use it to its full power, my power actually," Madara said. Itachi's eyes widened and his mouth was gaping. "Thinking of that, since I'm in here as well, he also has my DNA, so if he's pushed far enough he could easily unlock the Rinnegan," Nagato said. Itachi started to feel like he was going to faint. Minato saw this and ran behind him in case he fainted. "Should I tell the Hokage about this? I don't want them to turn him into a weapon, but if I don't and he unlocks the Sharingan, then what?" Itachi asked, his mind spinning. "Don't tell the Hokage. Danzo would get word and turn my son into a weapon. Tell Kakashi he has the Sharingan, so if he needs proof he can come in here and we can explain. I have a feeling since he was my student, he will be Naruto's sensei when he is older," Minato said. Everyone nodded at the logic. "Okay. By the way, sorry about Anko twisting Naruto's leg, Itachi said, and Minato nodded. I know, but it would have healed wrong if she hadn't. Minato trailed off, not wanting to think that. Itachi nodded in understanding. Okay, well, it seems I should go back into the real world now. Bye, Itachi said as he disappeared. When his eyes refocused, he was staring into Naruto's eyes again. He quickly looked away and everyone looked at him. Well? Kurenai asked. They all noticed the concerned expression on Itachi's face. Well, Itachi said, not deciding if he could trust all of them. Itachi? What is it? Asuma asked. They were starting to get a little scared for Naruto. I think it would be better if we were to talk in private at his house, Itachi said. This made all of them become even more scared than before. Kakashi picked up Naruto and they all shunshined to Naruto's apartment. Kakashi laid Naruto down on the couch and everyone else sat in the chairs around the living room. Kakashi, can I speak to you for a moment? Itachi asked. Kakashi nodded and followed him into the kitchen. What's this about? Kakashi asked, worried. Well, I want you to go in and go into Naruto's mind. Follow the strong presence and you'll see what I mean, Itachi said. Kakashi rushed into the living room and sat the unconscious Naruto up, uncovering his Sharingan. What are you doing? Anko asked. Kakashi ignored her and proceeded to go into Naruto's mind. Why you? Anko said. She was stopped by Itachi. Trust me. Just wait, Itachi said. He sat down next to the unconscious Naruto and stared at him, wondering what he was going to do. Kakashi felt the strong presence and was now following it into a large room with a cage in the front. Behind the bars, he saw the Kyuubi eyeing him. He looked around to see a screen on the wall showing what Naruto saw. He saw himself on the screen. In front of the screen, he saw 3 figures. He started to walk towards them slowly. When they turned around, he was shocked. Am Minato-sensei? He asked in a shocked voice. Minato nodded with a smile and a few tears rolled down Kakashi's face. The other 2 made themselves known by talking. Hello, Kakashi, Minato said. Hello, Cyclops, Madara said with a chuckle. Kakashi's eyes widened as he realized who it was and he felt fear for his life. Hello, I'm Nagato, the other said. Kakashi could tell the boy was in his later teens. Minato-sensei, Madara Uchiha? Kakashi said in shock. Then he looked at the other and gasped. Our Rinnegan? He all but screamed. Minato chuckled. That was the same reaction Itachi and me had, Minato said with a laugh. What are you all doing in Naruto? Kakashi stuttered out through his shock. When Kyuubi was getting sealed into Naruto, this idiot forgot we were on its head, Madara said, pointing at Minato like before. And I put too much chakra into the seal and accidentally sealed myself in along with them, Minato said, smiling sheepishly. Kakashi's sweat dropped. So Naruto has Madara Uchiha, a Sharingan user, Nagato, a Rinnegan user, Kyuubi, and his own father sealed into him? Kakashi said, dumbfounded. No wonder Itachi wanted him to see for himself. Yeah. Yes, yep, yeah. All of the people in Naruto's seal said at the same time. By the way, because Naruto has me sealed inside him, if he ever has a Sharingan implanted into his eyes, he will be able to unlock the Sharingan, then activate and deactivate it. Also, since I'm in here, he has some of my DNA. That's how he could unlock it and use all of its power, or use the power I have in my Sharingan. Madara finished. Kakashi felt like he had to lie down. Thinking of that, since I'm in here as well, he also has my DNA, so if he's pushed far enough he could easily unlock the Rinnegan, but only if he is under too much stress. Nagato said. Kakashi felt like was going to get sick or pass out. Minato, seeing this, rushed behind Kakashi like he did Itachi in case he passed out. Well, that is a lot to take in one day. Itachi had the same reaction you are. I thought he was going to faint, Minato said to Kakashi. Will you 3 please stop trying to invite people in? First that Uchiha brat and now Cyclops. I'm never going to take my nap at this rate, Kyuubi said in an annoyed tone. Everyone's sweat dropped. Well, I guess I have to go, Kakashi said before leaving Naruto's mind. When he came out of Naruto's mind, he quickly looked away and covered his Sharingan. He looked up to Itachi and nodded quickly. Will you two tell us what's wrong? Asuma said, finally getting annoyed. Kakashi and Itachi looked at each other. They weren't sure if they could tell them. Well, it appears that Naruto awakened the sharing and because Madarauki Haisialeden side Haimalong with Kiwabia boy named Nagato a Thuranegananman. Both Kakashi and Itachi said quickly. Took a few seconds for the message to get decoded in Anko, Asuma, and Kurenai's minds. When the message was clear, they were shocked. What? They all yelled. Kakashi and Itachi then went in depth with what they saw and heard. The other three were shocked. After they were done explaining, they spent a few minutes just staring at Naruto with wide eyes. Does he know? Kurenai asked. Itachi shook his head. They thought for a few more minutes, then Naruto opened his eyes. "HN," he said. All of them gasped and looked at him. He grabbed his head in pain. "Gah! I feel like someone yelled into my ears." He yelled. All of them had to stifle a chuckle knowing why he felt like someone yelled into his ears, or more likely inside his head. "Are you okay, Naruto?" Asuma asked. Naruto nodded, still holding his ears. "How about we take you out for ramen?" Itachi said. Everyone's eyes bugged out of their heads. "Ramen!" Naruto yelled excitedly. "Oh no! Haha! What have I gotten us into?" Itachi thought. "See ya," Kurenai said, shining away. "Bye," Asuma said, bailing out the window. "I have to go now," Kakashi said, running out the door. I forgot to turn off my stove," Anko said, and she jumped out the window. Now only Itachi and Naruto were left. Well then, okay. I guess I'll be paying," Itachi said with a sob coming into his voice. His wallet would soon be empty. 3 years later. Naruto was out training late and was now running home. He was passing the Uchiha compound when he heard a scream. "Who was that? I have to check it out," he thought as he ran into the Uchiha compound. He turned a corner and saw blood, kunai, and dead bodies everywhere. He had to hold back the urge to puke as he ran past them, trying hard to hold back tears. "What happened?" Minato asked Nagato and Madara. They shook their heads and continued watching. "Oh, Kami," Nagato said as he could hear and see Naruto holding back tears and running past all the bodies. "Mother of Kami? Who could do all this?" Madara said as he watched Naruto run past countless bodies. Naruto continued to run towards where he heard the scream until he came to Sasuke Uchiha's house. "Oh no, it came from Sasuke's house," Naruto muttered in fear as he ran up to the door. He opened the door to faceplant into Sasuke, who was crying. "Sasuke? What happened? I heard a scream. What happened?" Naruto said quickly, seeing Sasuke panting heavily and trying to run. "Itachi, run Naruto. Come on, we have to get out of here," Sasuke yelled as he grabbed Naruto by the shirt and dragged him behind as he ran. Naruto was now on his feet running behind Sasuke when Itachi appeared in front of them. "Itachi, why are you doing this?" Sasuke yelled. "There has to be a reason Itachi did this," Minato said to the other two next to him. /N. In this, Itachi already said the part about killing his best friend and he got both of Shirsue's eyes. "Foolish little brother, you are one of the few members of the Uchiha clan who can possess the Mangekyo Sharingan. If you wish to exact your revenge on me someday, then foster your hatred and face me when you have the same eyes as I do," Itachi said. Then he appeared behind Sasuke and touched his pressure point, knocking him out cold. Then he turned to Naruto. Naruto started to back away with fear clear in his eyes. Itachi made his slow advance. Please don't kill me. Itachi, please," Naruto pleaded, tears running down his face. He honestly didn't want to die by his friend's hand. "I'm not going to kill you, Naruto," Itachi said. This scared Naruto even more. Was Itachi going to torture him? I'm going to give you a gift, Itachi said. Naruto stopped moving and held his ground. I guess if he's lying and I die here, this is as far as I was meant to go in this world. Naruto thought. Minato and Nagato's eyes widened at the bravery Naruto was showing, and Madara smiled proudly. What is this gift? I know the ANBU will be on their way in a little while, not seeing the lights on. Naruto said. Itachi just held his ground. It's a surprise. You will get it when you are older, Itachi said. This made Naruto take a step back. When I'm older, is he going to come back and kill me? Naruto thought frantically. All the people in Naruto's mind were watching intently now. I bet he'll give Naruto the Sharingan. Madara and Nagato guessed. Minato nodded in agreement. Itachi's eyes turned into the Mangekyo Sharingan, and he stared at Naruto. Naruto backed away a little more. He didn't even realize it when Itachi disappeared and reappeared behind him. His pressure point was hit, and he fell to the ground, but not before he heard the last words. I'm so sorry, Naruto, Itachi said, then went to transplant Shirsue's eyes into Naruto. After he was done, the red eyes morphed back into light blue, just a little darker than before. Then he went on the run. 1 week later, Naruto woke up to smell antiseptic. He quickly looked around and realized he couldn't see. He brought his hand up to his eyes to feel bandages around his eyes. So you're finally awake, Naruto? A voice said from the side of the bed. Naruto jumped, then realized the voice was Kakashi. He hadn't seen him in years, but he still remembered the man's voice. Why are there bandages on my eyes? Naruto said, panicked. Kakashi laid a hand on Naruto's arm to calm him. Don't worry. When they found you, they just said your eyes were bleeding and needed to rest for a few days. You can take them off now, Kakashi said. Naruto ripped the bandages off and was blinded by the ceiling light. He grabbed his eyes in pain. Too bright, too bright. I'm blind, Naruto said loudly, holding his head in pain. Kakashi's eye widened in realization and started to think of what to say. Naruto, can you open your eyes and look at me? Kakashi said. Naruto squinted his eyes at Kakashi, and it got better after a little bit. He opened his eyes fully and Kakashi gawked. Was it just him, or were Naruto's eyes darker? Naruto, can you tell me what happened? Kakashi asked, already having an idea what transpired. I heard a scream and ran into the compound. There were dead bodies everywhere. I ran to Sasuke's house and ran into him running away. He said Itachi was coming to kill us and to run. We ran up the street and Itachi appeared in front of us. He said that Sasuke had to foster his hatred and come back to face him when he had the Mangekyo Sharingan. Then he knocked out Sasuke and walked up to me. He said something about giving me a gift I will have when I'm older, and then I was knocked out. Naruto said, gasping for breath. Do your eyes hurt at all? Kakashi asked. Naruto nodded. Yeah, my eyes sting, but it's going away. And everything is so much clearer than it was before. What did he do to me? Naruto said. Kakashi decided to wait till Naruto was older to tell him. I don't know. I guess we'll find out when you're older, won't we? Kakashi said with an eye smile. Is Sasuke okay? Naruto asked. Kakashi nodded. Yes, he's fine. In fact, he went back to the academy yesterday. Kakashi said. Naruto sighed in relief. When can I get out of here? Naruto asked. Kakashi thought, then smiled. Right now, with your super healing and all. We were just waiting for you to wake up, Kakashi said. What about Itachi? Naruto asked. Kakashi frowned. He got away. Now he's an S-rank missing ninja, Kakashi said. Naruto's eyes widened. Will he come back for Sasuke? Naruto asked. Kakashi shook his head. Naruto, how about we get you out of here and to Ichiraku's? Kakashi asked, knowing his wallet would be empty. Yeah, Naruto yelled, jumping out of bed and putting on his normal clothes. Kakashi chuckled. He certainly hadn't lost his enthusiasm for ramen. After he took Naruto home, he went to tell Kurenai, Asuma, and Anko about Naruto's new gift. 4 years later, /n. Sorry about all the time skips, I want to get to graduation as soon as possible. It was now graduation day at the academy. Everyone was nervous and some excited. For one Naruto Uzumaki, it was the day he would finally become a genin, but in the way he expected. Next up, Naruto Uzumaki. Please preform the henge, kawarimi, and the bunshin. Irika said. Naruto quickly preformed the techniques perfectly till it came to the bunshin. He made a dead-looking clone that fell to the ground. You failed, Irika said. Naruto walked out of the room sadly. Naruto was now sitting on a swing across the road from the academy, watching all the parents congratulate their children on passing. Minato, Nagato, and Madara watched sadly as he longed for a family. Naruto heard footsteps coming to his side. He turned to see Mizuki smiling down at him. I know a way you can graduate, Naruto, Mizuki said, then went into details about his plan. Later that night, forest. Ha! I found you. It's all over, Irika said, leaning over Naruto who was grinning. Caught me already, you're quick, sensei, Naruto said. Irika took on a confused expression. Now I can pass, right? Anyone who learns a jutsu from this scroll passes, Naruto said. Where did you get that idea? Irika asked, confused. Mizuki-sensei told me. He told me about the scroll and this place. Naruto trailed off, putting the pieces together. Then, Naruto was shoved back as multiple kunai flew into Irika. So, I see you found our little hideaway, Mizuki said, stepping out of the shadows. Naruto, give me the scroll now, Mizuki said. Naruto gasped. No, Naruto, run. Don't let Mizuki get the scroll, Irika yelled. Mizuki started to laugh. Naruto, run. Mizuki lied to you, Irika yelled again. Naruto looked at the laughing teacher and frowned. You want to know who's really lying? They've been lying to you your whole life, Naruto, Mizuki said. Naruto took on a confused look. No, Mizuki, Irika yelled. 12 years ago the Kyuubi attacked our village. It couldn't be killed, so it was sealed into the best thing. A newborn baby. That baby was you. You are the nine-tailed fox. Die, Naruto, Mizuki yelled as he threw the Fuma shuriken on his back. Naruto, get down, Irika yelled. Naruto ducked. Clench. Naruto looked up to see Irika had shielded him, taking the hit in the back. Madara, Nagato, and Minato gasped. But why? Naruto said. Irika started to cry. Because we're the same. When I lost me parents, no one seemed to care. They just forgot I was there. I did crazy things. Then I had to pay for it. You're lonely and it hurts inside. And I could have been there for you more. I'm so sorry, Naruto, Irika said, blood running from his mouth. Don't make me laugh. Irika always hated you. He hated you because the Kyuubi killed parents and that beast is now inside you, Mizuki yelled. Naruto jumped out from under Irika and ran. Naruto, Irika yelled. Naruto just kept running, tears falling from his eyes. Oh, Naruto, Minato said in a sad tone. Poor little Naruto, Nagato said in a saddened and worried tone. He'll get through it, I hope, Madara said. After a little bit of running, Naruto was crouched behind a tree, clinging onto the scroll of ceiling like it was a lifeline. He heard voices come from behind him and listened. How did you know, Naruto? How did you know? Poof. It was me and not Irika, Mizuki's voice said. Because I'm Irika, Irika said simply with a smug grin. Why would you protect that freak? He'll use the scroll for his own power and destroy this village, Mizuki said. You're right, Irika said. Naruto had to stifle a gasp and more sobbing noises. So Irika-sensei never believed in me? He thinks I'm some beast, Naruto thought with an inward sob. Nagato, Minato, and Madara frowned. But that's not who Naruto is. He works hard and puts his whole heart into it. That's what separates him from being a beast, so you're wrong, he nothing like the Nine Tails. He is Naruto Uzumaki of the village hidden in the leaves. Iruka finished with confidence. Minato, Nagato, and Madara smiled as Naruto gaped, and they felt him fill with warm happiness that could reach even the coldest heart. I was going to finish you later, but I changed my mind. You're finished. Mizuki yelled. He took out the Fuma Shuriken and ran at Iruka. So this is it, Iruka thought before. Clang. He looked up to see Naruto slam into Mizuki's face, sending him flying back and the shuriken in the opposite direction. Naruto stood with the scroll in a defensive position. Mizuki started to stand, wiping some blood off his lip. You idiot! Why didn't you run? Iruka yelled, scared Naruto would die. Naruto just smiled. Watch me, sensei, he said, before focusing his look on Mizuki. Don't ever lay a hand on my sensei. I'll kill you, Naruto said. Everyone in Naruto's mind was shocked at the amount of bravery Naruto kept showing. Nice move for a little punk. But what will you do, nine-tailed fox? I can completely destroy you with a single move, Mizuki said with a smirk. Take your best shot, fool. I'll give it back to you 1,000 full, Naruto said. Minato, Nagato, and Madara watched with wide eyes as Naruto showed bravery that even some jounin seemed to lack. Show me what you can do, nine-tailed fox, Mizuki yelled. Naruto put half of his chakra into the jutsu. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto yelled. Everyone inside and outside on Naruto's mind, even Kyuubi, gaped as over 2,000 Narutos appeared, all grinning evilly at Mizuki. So much chakra, Iruka thought. Holy mother of chakra, Minato, Madara, Nagato, and Kyuubi yelled, with widened eyes, all in shock. Did he use any of our chakra on accident? Minato asked. Everyone shook their heads, surprising everyone even more. Minato quickly checked Naruto's chakra levels and he paled. He was about to faint. What is it? Nagato asked, seeing the shocked expression on Minato's face. He only used half his chakra, Minato stuttered out, feeling like he was going to faint at the sheer amount of chakra his son had. Nagato and Madara looked at each other, then pinched themselves. They weren't dreaming. Then they heard a scream. They all looked at the screen to see over 2,000 Narutos pushing each other to get a hit on Mizuki before the others. It was so funny. Minato, Madara, and Nagato burst out laughing. It was now dawn. Mizuki laid on the ground after being beaten up by thousands of Naruto's. Iruka motioned Naruto over. Naruto, close your eyes, Iruka said. Naruto closed his eyes and felt something go onto his forehead. He then opened his eyes to see Iruka holding his goggles and Iruka's headband was gone. He raised his hand and felt the headband on his forehead. He actually passed, Nagato said happily. Everyone else smiled. Congratulations, Naruto. You graduate, Iruka said. And as a reward we're going to Ichiraku's. Iruka finished. Naruto stared with his mouth hanging. Iruka-sensei, Naruto yelled, jumping onto Iruka in happiness. 1 week later, Naruto was walking to the academy. Today he would finally become a genin and be on a team. He was thinking back to the Hokage's grandson, Konohamaru. He had taught the kid his own jutsu, the sexy jutsu, and he swore he felt 2 people pass out from blood loss and another laughing. What he didn't know was that he made Minato and Madara pass out from blood loss and Nagato laugh at their predicament. He saw the academy and smiled. Today was the day he would finally be 1 step closer to his dream. When he walked into the room, he got a lot of confused looks from some of the students. He ignored them and sat down. What are you doing here, Naruto? This place isn't for dropouts. You can't be here unless you graduated. Shikamaru Nara, the laziest kid in school, said. Naruto grinned. Do you see this? This is a regulation headband. We'll be training together, Naruto said. Humph, Shikamaru said as he walked away. Everyone turned to the sound of running and yelling coming up the hall. They all turned to see Sakura Haruno, Naruto's crush, and Ino Yamanaka run into the room. I'm first, they yelled. They continued their argument and Naruto stared and blushed. Sakura, Naruto thought. Nagato, Minato, and Madara chuckled at Naruto's train of thought. Sakura turned and smiled. She's smiling at me. I think she likes me in this headband. Naruto thought. All three chuckled again. Sakura ran down the rows and Naruto jumped from his seat. In meeting room. Promising new student Sasuke Uchiha. Is that him? Asuma asked. Looking at a crystal ball, Sarutobi nodded. He's the only survivor left of the Uchiha clan, Kurenai said. That's right, Sarutobi said. The crystal ball's view then shifted over to Naruto, who was on the floor. Naruto, Kakashi, Asuma, Kurenai, and Anko thought. They all remembered the conversation years earlier. Flashback. I'm counting on you, Pakin, Kakashi said, sending out his summoning dog to tell Asuma, Kurenai, and Anko to meet at his house. 5 minutes later, they were all sitting in Kakashi's living room. Is there any change with Naruto? Asuma asked. Kakashi nodded. He went home today. Do you remember what Itachi said to us a few years ago? Kakashi asked. They all nodded. Yes. If Naruto ever gets the Sharingan transplanted into his eyes, then he will, Kurenai said, trailing off. Her eyes widened as the information rang through her mind. No, he didn't, Anko said, shocked. Yes, he did, Kakashi said. Does Naruto know? Can he activate it? Asuma asked. Kakashi shook his head. No, he doesn't know, and no, he will unlock it like any other Uchiha member would, Kakashi said. What do his eyes look like now? Kurenai asked. They are still blue, but they're darker than before, Kakashi said. Everyone sat in silence for the rest of the small meeting. Flashback end. Hey Sakura, Iwa dash, Naruto said before being shoved down with a thud. The people watching through the crystal ball winced. Move it. Good morning, Sasuke. Mind if I sit next to you? Sakura asked. Sasuke. It's always about Sasuke, Naruto thought, gaining a chuckle from the three people in his mind. Clunk, clunk. Sasuke opened his eyes to see Naruto crouching on his desk, growling. The people in Naruto's head and the crystal ball chuckled. Naruto, hey, stop glaring at Sasuke, Sakura yelled. Sakura, Sasuke, it's always about Sasuke. What's the big deal with this guy? Naruto thought. All the people in Naruto's mind chuckled. Whoa, hey, this is great, the kid behind Naruto said, accidentally bumping Naruto into Sasuke. What the? Sakura said. Ino said. Smooch. A kissing sound echoed around the room. Everyone turned to see Naruto, and Sasuke leaned over, looking like they were choking and making gagging and dry heaving sounds. The Jounin watching from the crystal ball laughed, and the people in Naruto's mind laughed harder. They stopped when they felt killing intent raise against Naruto. Naruto started to turn scared. Naruto, you are so dead, Sakura said, cracking her knuckles. Whoa, hang on. It was an accident, Naruto said, raising his hands in a placating manner. You're finished, Sakura said. Hang on, Naruto yelled as the girls made their advance. He let out a scream of terror and he was sucked under the girls and to the ground to be beaten up. It reminded everyone of a whirlpool sucking someone up. All the boys in class saluted Naruto in respect. He was a good man, Kiba said. This gained a long laugh from all the Jounin watching. 10 minutes later. I will now announce the teams, Irika said, naming off the teams. I hope I'm with Sakura and, I don't know, just not Sasuke, Naruto thought. Team 7 Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno. Yeah, Naruto yelled, getting chuckle from the three in his head. I'm doomed, Sakura said. And Sasuke Uchiha, Irika finished. Yeah, Sakura yelled. I'm doomed, Naruto said. Everyone in Naruto's head burst out laughing. He's with the girl he likes and the guy he hates, and the girl he likes the guy he hates, Nagato yelled out, howling in laughter. This made the other two laugh more. Team 8 Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, and Shino Aburame. Irika continued. Team 10 Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara, and Chuji Akamichi. You will meet your Jounin senseis after lunch. Irika finished. The second generation of the Ino Shikacho trio. It seems Naruto's class is full of clan heads, Minato said. Madara nodded, eyes wide. After lunch. Team 7 was now waiting for their sensei to arrive. The other Jounin had come and gotten their teams already. Naruto noticed the two Jounin who he assumed were Kurenai Yuhi and Asuma Sarutobi. He had heard them say their names to their teams, were giving him looks like they knew him. He didn't recognize them. If he did know them, then they had changed too much for him to recognize them. After about 2 hours, the door finally slid open. A man with silver hair and a mask popped in. It was Kakashi, but he couldn't recognize him. Team 7. Meet me on the roof in 5 minutes, Kakashi said. The genin hurried to the roof. Okay, now for introductions. My name is Kakashi Hatake. I like and dislike many things. I haven't thought about a dream, and I have lots of hobbies. Kakashi finished. The genin's sweat dropped. You next, Pinky, Kakashi said. Sakura frowned and started. My name is Sakura Haruno. What the person I like is, looks at Sasuke. My hobbies are, looks at Sasuke and giggles, and my dream for the future is, looks at Sasuke and squeals dash, Sakura said. And what do you hate? Kakashi asked. He automatically regretted it. Naruto, Sakura yelled. Naruto let out a groan like someone just broke his heart with a sledgehammer, and one tear fell from his eyes. Okay. Next, Kakashi said. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I hate a lot of things and I don't particularly like anything. I'm going to restore my clan and kill a certain someone. Sasuke finished. I hope he doesn't mean me, Naruto thought. Revenge. He's in the cycle of hatred. Minato, Nagato, and surprisingly Madara said. Over the past few years Minato had changed Madara, and he understood the cycle of hatred. Sasuke is so hot, Sakura thought. Just as I thought, Kakashi thought. Next, Blondie, Kakashi said. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like ramen and training. I dislike smug people and the time it takes to cook ramen. My dream is to become the greatest Hokage. Then everyone will have to stop disrespecting me and treat me like I'm someone important. Then I can protect this whole village, Naruto said. Okay, you're all unique and you have your own ideas. Tomorrow we will meet at Training Ground 3 at 7 a.m. for the real test. Oh, and don't eat breakfast, you'll puke, Kakashi said. Before they could ask, he disappeared. Oh no, not the bell test, Minato said. He had to warn Naruto to eat breakfast and work with the others. The next day, Training Ground 3, 7 a.m. Team 7 was waiting for Kakashi in Training Ground 3. Naruto had eaten breakfast and made a plan for teamwork because a voice in his head told him to. He assumed it was his subconscious. After about 2 more hours, Kakashi finally arrived. After saying his excuse, he explained the bell test and said to come at him with intent to kill. Ready, start. Sasuke and Sakura ran away while Naruto stayed put. You a little weird, Kakashi said. Naruto grinned. The only thing weird here is your haircut, Naruto yelled, making everyone in his head burst into laughter. Kakashi then took out a book that said, Aika Aika Paradise. A book? Naruto asked in an astonished tone. Well, your weak attacks won't hurt me so. Now come on, show me what you can do, Kakashi said. Naruto smiled. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto yelled. Kakashi expected to see about 5 clones that would disappear in a second. He was way off. His eye widened incredibly when he saw about 1,000 Naruto appear around him. Sasuke and Sakura gasped in shock as a Naruto came up to both of them and explained. Sasuke reluctantly agreed and Sakura just agreed because Sasuke did. How much chakra do you have? Kakashi asked in a shocked tone, looking at the real Naruto who hadn't broken a sweat. I only used 1/4 of my chakra. The weird thing is, I never have trained to get more chakra, I just have this much, Naruto said with a shocked tone as well. All the clones dispersed, creating a large cloud of smoke. Kakashi dodged 3 kunai that came at him. He forgot about the bells for 1 second. The 2 bells flew off with the kunai only to be picked up by the genin. Nice, Sasuke. You're so cool, Sakura said. Naruto frowned. But I set up the diversion. Naruto thought, then looked at Kakashi, who was walking out of the smoke, to see the genin holding the bells. He looked down to see a tear in the string that held them and looked back at the genin. Well, congratulations. You all pass. Team 7 starts its first mission tomorrow, Kakashi said. Naruto cheered happily. He was finally a ninja. The next day, Team 7 was doing yet another D-ranked mission and they were sick of it. They wanted to be doing stuff other than chores anyone could do. Right now, they were trying to catch the infamous demon cat Tora. It kept escaping its owner and the genin were sent to catch it. For the 20th time. In fact, Minato was wondering how the cat was still alive. It was there when he was a kid. This is Sasuke, I'm at point B, Sasuke said over his mic. This is Sakura, I'm at point C, Sakura said also. This is Naruto, I'm at point A, Naruto said quickly. Okay, target has moved. Follow it, Kakashi said. The genin rushed after the cat and hid behind some trees. What's your distance from the target? Kakashi asked. 5 meters. I'm ready. Just give the signal, Naruto said. Sasuke and Sakura agreed. Okay, now, Kakashi yelled. They jumped at the cat and Naruto got it first. It started to scratch his face. Ah, get it off of me, Naruto yelled, getting clawed all over the face by the cat's claws. Nagato, Madara, and Minato released a small chuckle. Can you identify the target? Kakashi asked. Sasuke agreed. Okay, lost pet Tora captured. Mission success, Kakashi said. Can't we get a better mission than this? I hate cats, Naruto yelled, making everyone go deaf for a minute. Hokage's tower, lobby. Team 7 reporting in, Kakashi said to the receptionist. For the first time ever since they were genin. She raised her head to look at them. When she saw Naruto, she narrowed her eyes into a glare. Apparently, she forgot about everyone else. What are you doing here? Get out before I call the ANBU, she said. Sasuke and Sakura looked confused and looked at Naruto. That's it. I'm calling the ANBU. Demon, she said. She stopped when she felt a killing intent directed at her. She turned to see Kakashi looking at her. Don't worry, Kakashi. I'll get that demon out of your hair so you can see the Hokage, she said. He is part of my team. I suggest you let us through or you'll be fired and executed, Kakashi said. She nodded quickly and let them through. 5 minutes later, after Hokage's speech. Can't we at least get a C rank? Naruto asked. Sarutobi went into deep thought. At that moment, Teams 8 and 10 and another with a sensei in tights walked in. Hey guys, Naruto said, smiling. Kakashi saw that behind it something was bothering Naruto. He walked over to Kurenai, Asuma, and Guy and told them about earlier. They were angry at the treatment Naruto still got, even after possibly saving the village. They all looked at him. He was smiling and talking to everyone else. They would ask him if he was okay later. All the teams are here. They do have enough experience for a C rank. If I send all of them, then they will all get more experience. Sarutobi thought, then he smiled. He thought it was fate that teams Kakashi, Kurenai, Asuma, and Guy walked in at the same time. I have come to a decision. You will all be going on a C-ranked mission together. You will be escorting and guarding Tazuna. a bridge builder to the land of waves, and guard him while he finishes the bridge. Sarutobi finished. The genin looked at each other, then nodded in agreement. One of the genin on the new team scoffed like he was better. He had white eyes like Hinata and brown hair. Okay, send him in, Sarutobi said. A man smelling of sake walked in. He wore civilian clothing and looked slightly on the drunk side. A bunch of snot-nosed brats? Tazuna said. /n. I thought I would add humor into the next part. Enjoy. And you, the little one with the idiotic-looking whiskers. You really expect me to believe you're a ninja? And take those whiskers off. No one will take you seriously when you wear them, Tazuna said. Naruto took on a confused expression and gawked. The people in Naruto's mind face-bombed. They knew this was coming. But I'm not wearing whiskers. I was born with them on my face, Naruto said in a confused tone. This shocked the genin from the new, unknown team. Really? No one is born with whiskers. Now stop messing around and take them off, Tazuna said. Everyone looked at Naruto, who looked slightly shocked. But I'm not kidding. I'm not wearing whiskers, Naruto said in a stunned tone. This guy needs to sober up, Naruto thought. I said, quit kidding with me. You're wearing whiskers and it's weird. Take them off, Tazuna said. Everyone started to think Tazuna was too drunk for his own good. Naruto had an idea. Would you like me to do a transformation so I don't have my whiskers? Naruto asked. This shocked everyone. No, I want you to take them off, Tazuna said. Naruto just sighed and did the henge. Only the ninja in the room knew he did the transformation jutsu. When the smoke around Naruto disappeared, everyone gasped at how he looked. The genin looked at the picture of the yondaime, then back at Naruto. The resemblance was insane. The jounin in the room already knew who Naruto's father was, but were still shocked by the similarities between the two. Naruto without whiskers could very well be a clone of the yondaime when he was young. Actually, Naruto, that won't be necessary. Please undo the henge. We'll just sober Tazuna up before we go, Kakashi said. Naruto nodded and undid the transformation. His whiskers were back, but no one would look at him the same again. And Naruto? Why do you look so much like the Yondaime Hokage? Hinata asked. All the genin paid close attention now. Naruto shrugged. I don't know, coincidence? Oh well. He is my hero, so I'm honored to look like him, Naruto said with a big smile. The jounin had to hold in a chuckle, knowing Naruto's hero was really his own father. Wait a minute, Whiskers. Are you the kid that lady in the lobby called a demon fox? Tazuna asked in a questioning voice. All the genin's eyes widened and they looked at Naruto. Well, it looks like someone is going to Ibiki, all the jounin and Hokage thought. Hey wait, that reminds me, Naruto. Why did that lady in the lobby call you a demon and try to call the ANBU? Sakura asked. This shocked all the other teams. Naruto froze. It was so obvious that even the genin could see it. Naruto lowered his eyes sadly to the floor for a minute, then looked up. He smiled, shocking the adults in the room. He thought of an excuse. Well, maybe she thought I was going to kill her with my pranks. My pranks are known as killer, and it takes a lot of cunning to come up with them, Naruto said, grinning his usual grin. All the genin seemed to accept that, except for the secret geniuses Shikamaru and Niji. That was a good excuse. Nice going, Naruto. All the adults in the room thought they could even back up his excuse. Okay, we'll meet at the gate in 1 hour, Kakashi said. All the genin nodded and left. Kakashi, Kurenai, Asuma, and Guy walked behind Naruto and then went up to him. Naruto, are you okay? Kakashi asked. Naruto grinned. Yeah, I'm fine now. They didn't suspect a thing, Naruto whispered so only the jounin could hear. They all smirked as his enthusiasm was back. Okay, now go pack. Be at the gate in an hour, Kurenai said. Naruto nodded and ran off. Kurenai, Asuma, Kakashi, and Guy all shined to their houses to pack. When they were done, they all met in Kakashi's living room. Asuma and Kurenai were shocked to see Guy, the leader of the new and Unknown team there. What is Guy doing here? Kurenai asked. Kakashi looked at her. Don't worry, he knows about Naruto's gift. It's honestly hard to believe that Naruto has the Sharingan. But I'm reminded he does because of the darker color in his eyes and the glint. That mischievous glint in Naruto's eyes that also belonged to Shursui. Kurenai said. Asuma, Kakashi, and Guy nodded in agreement. Do you think he'll have the Koto Amatsukami like Shursui did? Asuma asked. Kakashi went into deep thought. I have a feeling he will. I just hope we find out and help him control it before he accidentally commands someone to act like a dog or something, Kakashi said with a chuckle. This made the others laugh. I guess only time will tell, Asuma said. The other three nodded. 1 hour later, front gate, /N. I'm going to make this Team 9/Team Guy's first combat mission. They will be new to it and more like Naruto's class on this one. Also, they all now know each other. Before, the Jounin Kamitai introduced them elves. Team 7, 8, 9, and 10, and Tezuno were waiting at the front gate for the Genin senseis when there was a puff of smoke. Yo, Kakashi said. Naruto looked shocked. No, it's the end of the world. You actually arrived on time, Naruto yelled. He then clutched his chest and fell to the ground in a fake heart attack act. Everyone burst out laughing, even the people in Naruto's head, Kakashi, Sasuke, and Neji, which they met on the new team. Naruto then got up with a grin on his face. All right, let's head out, Guy said. He and Kurenai were still chuckling at the act Naruto had just put on. Then they all headed out. After a little while of walking down the road, the Jounin noticed something. A puddle when it hasn't rained for days? Kurenai asked. The three Jounin nodded. Let's see how the Genin do, Asuma suggested. Kakashi, Kurenai, and Guy nodded. As they passed the puddle, nothing happened. Then, as they were walking away, 2 Chunin-level ninja rose out of the water. They wrapped their chain around the 4 Jounin and proceeded to kill them by ripping them to shreds. Kakashi-sensei, Team 7 yelled in shock. Kurenai-sensei, Team 8 yelled in shock. Ji-sensei, Team 9 yelled in shock. Asuma-sensei, Team 10 yelled in shock. All the Genin were now too scared to move, even Sasuke, the one who never lost his calm demeanor. The Chunin ran at Naruto and got behind him. Everyone froze when they felt a powerful chakra. The Jounin looked at Naruto knowing this chakra wasn't the Kyuubi. The Genin were too scared to look and just stayed frozen. Sensei? /Yondaime? /Lord Fourth? Kakashi, Asuma, Kurenai, and Guy said in order, remembering the feeling of the chakra. They looked at Naruto and their eyes widened. They could see what appeared to be the fourth standing behind Naruto, looking down at him like he was guarding him. The figure then disappeared and Naruto jumped forward, trying to get away from the Chunin. He then made a hand sign. Recognizing it, Asuma and Kurenai tried to intervene but were stopped by Kakashi. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto yelled. He pushed as little chakra as he could into the jutsu and 50 Naruto clones appeared around the Chunin. The Naruto's attacks ended up knocking them out and the Jounin then hopped down from the tree they were in. Kakashi-sensei, Team 7 yelled in relief. Kurenai-sensei, Team 8 yelled in relief. Ji-sensei, Team 9 yelled in relief. Asuma-sensei, Team 10 yelled in relief. The Jounin nodded in acknowledgement, then looked at Naruto. Good job, Naruto. How did you make so many clones? Asuma asked. Naruto just shrugged. I put in as little chakra as I could, Naruto said. The Jounin's eyebrows rose till Kakashi explained. When he uses about 1/4 of his chakra, he can get 1,000 clones. Kakashi said. The other three's jaws dropped and they looked at Naruto, who was now talking to everyone else. The Jounin smiled till they heard. Naruto, you idiot. Why do you have to try to act cooler than Sasuke? No matter how strong you get, you will never beat Sasuke. Sakura and Ino yelled in unison. Naruto swore they had planned that. But I wasn't, Naruto said before being cut off. Don't lie, idiot. You are not smart and you are not strong. I don't even know how you became a ninja. You'll never become Hokage. Sakura and Ino yelled again. Come on, they had to have had that planned or something. Naruto grit his teeth and turned away. He walked up the road a little and turned with sheer determination in his eyes. I will show you all. I can become Hokage. I will show you all. I'll get strong and prove it to you, whatever it takes. To be Hokage, that is my dream. I never go back on my word. That's my ninja way, Naruto said. The genin laughed and the jounins' mouths were gaping. He's so much like his father, it's not even possible. Kakashi said. Kurenai, Asuma, and Guy nodded. They all started to walk again after interrogating Tazuna. After about 4 more hours, they decided to set up camp and move on the next day. The next day, they had now been walking for about 2 hours until Naruto thought he heard something in the bushes. He threw a kunai at the bush and everyone froze. What is it, Naruto? Kakashi asked. I thought I heard something, Naruto said. Sensei, don't listen to Naruto. He's probably just doing it for attention. Sasuke didn't hear anything, so there probably isn't anything. Sakura and Ino said. Naruto, the people in Naruto's head, and the Jounin were getting really annoyed with the fangirls in the group. I wasn't lying, Naruto said, pointing at the bush. Yeah, you were. You probably just want attention because everyone in your family died the night you were born, Sakura said. Everyone froze. Even Ino knew to never bring that up around Naruto. Everyone turned to Naruto, who was shaking in fury, tears rolling down his face and falling to the ground. He slowly raised his head and glared angrily at Sakura, still shaking in barely concealed rage, tears running down his face like a river. Stop, now, Sakura, Naruto said. His rage was clear in his voice, but she didn't get the message. Well, you never had anyone in your life to pay attention to you. You're just an orphan who wasn't raised right. They probably kill themselves to get away from a loser like you, Sakura said. Naruto started to growl slightly and shook more, red chakra rolling of him in waves. The genin and jounin shivered at the feel of the chakra in the jounin. Were going to stop Sakura before she said anything else, but were shocked when Naruto turned quickly, ran at a nearby tree, and punched through it with all his might. The tree flew back, smashing right through about 50 trees and then stopped. Everyone looked at Naruto, who was now looking at Sakura with a more calm demeanor. Sakura, don't ever insult my parents or me, or next time, I might not be able to control myself, Naruto said, looking at the group of genin. Swoosh! Get down! Kakashi yelled as he heard a sword approaching fast. Everyone ducked only to have a giant sword fly over their heads. It impaled itself into a tree and a man with dark gray skin and bandages over his mouth appeared on top of it. Well, if it isn't Kakashi of the Sharingan, the man said. Kurenai, Asuma, and Guy glared at the man. But the Sharingan is only in the Uchiha clan, my clan. Could he be? Sasuke thought, eyeing Kakashi with a calculating look. Zabuza Momochi, Kakashi said. Zabuza chuckled. So I'm in your book too, eh, Kakashi? Zabuza said in a joking manner. Now, hand over the old man and I'll be on my way, Zabuza said. All the Jounin stepped forward. Everyone, protect the bridge builder and stay out of this fight, Asuma said, eyeing his opponent. Wait a minute, what is the Sharingan? Naruto asked. Sasuke answered. The Sharingan is an ancient Jujutsu owned by the Uchiha clan. It allows the user to be able to see through ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu attacks and reflect them back on the user. But there is a lot more to the Sharingan than meets the eye, Sasuke said. Sakura and Ino squealed in delight and Naruto processed the information. That's only the tip of the iceberg, kid. You haven't even scratched the surface, Zabuza said. Naruto eyed Kakashi. So Kakashi-sensei has the Sharingan? Naruto said to Sasuke, unsure. Sasuke shrugged in response. The fangirls eyed Naruto and scoffed. See, Naruto, you can't have the Sharingan, so you'll always be a loser. Nothing is better than the Sharingan. Without it, you'll never be better than Sasuke. Ino and Sakura stated. Naruto frowned and the Jounin inwardly smirked. He can't have the Sharingan? Oh. Well, we'll see about that soon enough. The Jounin thought, having a feeling that Naruto would unlock it in this mission due to stress. Kakashi uncovered his eye and everyone gasped. That's the Sharingan? Naruto said. The eye looked kind of cool and scary to him. Everyone, stand around Tazuna. Stay out of this fight, we can take him down. Kurenai said. She would soon be proven wrong. We'll see about that, Zabuza said. Then he disappeared only to reappear behind all 9 genin. They all gasped. Kurenai and Asuma were there in a second. They stabbed the ninja only for him to turn into water. Suddenly, they heard the words, Kirigakure no Jutsu, Zabuza said. Suddenly, mist filled the entire area. They couldn't see a foot in front of them. Madara, try to send some of your chakra into Naruto. If my idea works, it will help him unlock his Sharingan sooner and help him in this fight, Minato said frantically. Madara nodded. Okay, I'll give him some and help him unlock it, and if my idea works, I can fuse my DNA with him a little more to give him the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan if he ever gets the normal one. My DNA will help him with his Sharingan. I'm glad fusing a little bit doesn't affect his appearance. Otherwise he would look like a fox from QB right now, Madara said, sending some of his chakra into Naruto. Naruto felt a power spike in him and spaced out for a little bit. When he refocused on what was happening, he heard his sensei's words. Just run. You can't win this fight. If you run, the water clone can't follow you, Kakashi yelled. Naruto started to realize that all 4 Jounin were trapped inside water prisons. Sasuke thought he saw an opening in Zabuza's defense and ran at him. 1 second later, he was on the ground with a foot on his chest. You little kids just try to act like ninja. You don't know what it's like to be a real ninja. You're just pretending, Zabuza said. He shoved down on Sasuke, making him yell in pain. Let go of Sasuke. All the genin, especially the fangirls, yelled. Zabuza just chuckled. You brats don't deserve to wear those headbands, Zabuza said. He shoved down his foot again, knocking the wind out of Sasuke. All the Jounin frowned. Stop right there, Naruto yelled. He pushed little under half his chakra into the Shadow Clone Jutsu. 2,000 Narutos appeared. Holy crap, Asuma and Kurenai yelled. Kakashi and Guy just stared. Zabuza looked around in slight fear, then smiled. There's no way a brat like you could summon this many shadow clones. Not even a Kageken. These are just illusions, Zabuza said. Then all the Narutos ran at him. He expected them to fly through them until they were dogpiled on top of him. He pushed off with his sword and all the clones flew back, exploding. He almost got him. He has so much youth in him, Guy said. What are you? To have so many clones? How much chakra do you have? Zabuza yelled in slight fear. I just used a little under half of my chakra, Naruto said. Zabuza, Kurenai, Guy, and Asuma's jaws dropped. They stared at Naruto and didn't see any sweat. He had done that without any trouble at all. Zabuza then ran at Naruto, sword in hand, hoping to slice Naruto in half. The Jounin stared with widened eyes as Naruto grabbed his eyes in discomfort. At last second, Naruto dodged the attack. They watched as he looked at his hand and his eyes widened. He stared at his hand like it had grown another finger. They continued to watch as Naruto dodged attack after attack, and it started to click into place. Zabuza was getting mad that a new genin was able to dodge him so much. How do you keep dodging me, brat? Zabuza said. Naruto looked astonished. I don't know, Naruto said. Zabuza tried to hit Naruto again. Naruto then ran for the water prisons to see the real Zabuza with 3 clones next to him. He turned around and avoided another hit. His vision seemed so much clearer. What was he doing right? Shikamaru, Shadow, Naruto yelled. Avoiding another hit, Shikamaru got the message and trapped a clone in his shadow. He moved his arm, making the clone release the prison on Asuma. Hinata, be a Kugen, Naruto yelled. She nodded and killed another clone with Juken, releasing Kurenai. Sasuke! Shuriken! Naruto yelled, dodging yet another attack. This time, Sasuke threw the shuriken at Naruto, hitting the target. The clone fell into water. Bushy brows. Taijutsu! Naruto yelled. Lee ran forward, kicking the clone and releasing Guy. Naruto then threw multiple kunai and shuriken at the real Zabuza. He couldn't catch them all and let go. Now all the Jounin were free and ready to fight. Suddenly, two Sunban flew from the woods and impaled Zabuza on the neck. He fell to the ground, dead. Guy felt his pulse. He was dead. A ninja then appeared next to the body. It was a small person with black hair and a mask on. Thank you. This body holds many secrets. Please excuse me, the person said, then disappeared with Zabuza's body. Naruto was by the shore now. He looked into the water and saw his eyes were different. They were blood red with two tomo in each eye. What? I can't be an Uchiha. They might hate me if I have these. Oh no. How do I make them go away? That's it. I'll just keep my head down. Naruto thought frantically. From the corner of their eyes, the Jounin were watching Naruto look at his face and take on a shocked expression. Then it turned to worry, then back to normal. I think he unlocked it, Kurenai whispered quietly. The three others nodded and looked at Naruto, who was walking back with his head down. Oh, he's trying to hide it. I don't think he knows how to turn it off. But then again, with his chakra he could probably keep it on for days with no effects, Kakashi said with a slight chuckle. When Naruto reached the group he looked up, closing his eyes so they were squinting. The Jounin chuckled at his efforts. Okay, let's go, Asuma said. They started to walk to Tazuna's house. There were 4 Jounin fighting, so they were glad when they didn't suffer chakra exhaustion afterwards. The Jounin watched as Naruto kept his head down. When he looked up they would see a glint of red before he lowered his head quickly again. When they finally got to Tazuna's house, Naruto walked into the upstairs bathroom quickly, examining his eyes. Outside the door, the Jounin were standing and applying chakra to their ears to listen to Naruto's mumbled ranting. Damn, why do I have this Sharingan? How do I turn it off? Gah, my eyes will be eating my chakra forever, Naruto mumbled. The Jounin suppressed chuckles as they continued listening. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Wait, it eats chakra if I stop chakra. Wait, how do I stop my chakra? Damn it, Naruto continued muttering, staring into his new eyes. The Jounin thought it was time to intervene before Naruto had a nervous breakdown. They knocked on the door. Naruto, can we come in? Asuma asked, trying to sound as nice as possible. Sure, Naruto said. He lowered his head and opened the door. Yes, he said, trying to not sound panicked. The Jounin heard the strain in his voice and smirked inwardly. Naruto, could you look up at us, please? Kakashi asked. Naruto tensed. And no, Naruto said, still looking down. Please? Can you please look up at us? Guy said, totally out of character in the other Jounin's opinions. Please? Can you please look up at us, Naruto? We'll shut the door, Kurenai said. She closed the door to prove her point. Naruto raised his head a little bit and glanced up. He then raised his head fully with his eyes closed shut tightly. The Jounin chuckled inside. Could you open your eyes for us, Naruto? Kakashi asked. He continued to watch as Naruto nodded, unsure. All 4 Jounin watched as Naruto opened his eyes slowly. All their eyes widened. Naruto already had 2 tomo already? Naruto looked down quickly again. They took on concerned expressions. Naruto, it's okay. Can you trust us and look up at us for more than a second? Kakashi asked in a comforting tone. Naruto nodded and looked up. They all stared into the new blood-red eyes with 2 tomo in each where the blue used to be. Naruto, what do you see right now? Asuma asked, curious how the boy would reply. I see blue stuff inside you, Naruto said. Asuma nodded and raised his fist. He threw a punch at Naruto and he ducked to avoid it. What did you see there? Kurenai asked. I saw his attack coming. It was like time slowed down, Naruto said, looking at Asuma's hand. Naruto, have you ever seen anything like this before? Kakashi asked. Naruto shook his head. What did you feel before you could see everything? Guy asked. The Jounin were all thinking that the tenants in Naruto's head had something to do with this. Yeah, I felt a weird upsurge of power. My body flooded with chakra. But I know it wasn't Kyuubi's chakra, Naruto said in a confused tone. Asuma leaned towards Kakashi, Guy, and Kurenai. I think Madara gave him chakra and it sped of his Sharingan's growth. He whispered so only the Jounin could hear. They nodded. Naruto, do you know how to turn it off? Kurenai asked, already knowing the answer. No. What am I going to do? I can't turn it off, it will eat my chakra forever. What do I do? Naruto said in a panicked voice. Kakashi's eyes widened that Naruto wasn't bragging about getting the Sharingan. Naruto, I was wondering, what do you think would happen if you showed them your eyes? Kakashi asked. Both Jounin caught on and realized Naruto wasn't bragging like they thought he would. Well, Sasuke would get mad, Ino and Sakura would yell at me for copying Sasuke's coolness, and the rest I don't want to know, Naruto said. The Jounin got what Naruto was saying and nodded in understanding. Well then, how are you going to copy people's jutsu and use your Sharingan? Asuma asked. Naruto frowned. Why would I copy? I would rather ask for permission to copy, Naruto said. The Jounin were shocked then smiled. If you want to use your Sharingan, would you tell them? We think it would be better if you told them and kept it a secret from everyone else, Kurenai said. Naruto looked up at her with wide eyes. Why would I hide it from everyone else? Naruto asked, eyeing the four Jounin with his Sharingan eyes. They already call you a demon. What if they were to know the demon had the Sharingan? Guy asked in a comforting tone. Naruto looked at the ground then up again. They would call me the copy demon or Sharingan demon, Naruto said with sadness. All the Jounin hearts ached for him now. Exactly. You can't tell anyone but maybe your own team, but I suggest you wait for the right time, Asuma said. Everyone else nodded. Also, when you have strong emotions the Sharingan comes out, so be careful, Kakashi said. Naruto nodded. Okay now, how do I turn it off? Naruto all but yelled. The Jounin covered their ears. Okay, calm down. Force your chakra away from your eyes. Feel for the warmth and stop the flow, Kakashi said. Naruto nodded and closed his eyes in concentration. When he opening his eyes, the Jounin watched as his eyes spun around and disappeared into the normal blue. Okay, now what do you see? Kakashi asked, expecting the answer he got. Compared to those eyes, this sight is so blurry, Naruto said with a laugh. The Jounin laughed and they all walked downstairs. When they got downstairs, everyone sat and ate. After about an hour of silent tsunami, Tezuna's daughter broke the silence. By the way, I never thanked you all for helping my father, Tsunami said. All the genin nodded. Well, you're looking at the next Hokage. We going to save your country. You're looking at a group of heroes, Naruto said. Everyone but Tenten and Neji smiled. Heroes? That's so stupid. There's no such thing as heroes, Inari, Tezuna's grandson, yelled. Naruto got a tick mark. How do you know? There are heroes in this world. I'll prove it. I'm going to be Hokage. I never go back on my word, Naruto said in a slightly annoyed tone. Neji, Sakura, Ino, and Inari scoffed. You really think you can become Hokage? From what I've heard, you're the dead last, Neji said. Some of the genin snickered. Like you can become Hokage, Sasuke will. He's much better than you, Ino and Sakura yelled. Naruto was about to jump out of his seat in anger. Heroes, dreams, that's all so stupid. Kids like you having foolish dreams. Dreams don't come true. Heroes don't exist. You're just full of stupid ideas. You don't know what it's like to suffer. You don't know what it's like to not have food on the table every night. You're just a pampered ninja in a rich village. You don't know what it's like to not have both your parents and lose someone close to you. You don't know what true suffering is. Inari yelled. The Jounin flinched at the last few parts. Inari should not have brought that up. Naruto stood up slowly. He walked over to the door slowly, fists balled and glowing white from pressure. See, you're just running away. Well, we can't run away. We have to stay and endure it. You're just a coward. Inari yelled. Hinata quickly covered the small boy's mouth. She knew what was coming. Naruto stood in front of the closed door, shaking slightly. I don't know, huh? I don't know what it's like to suffer? Try being in my shoes for a day. Naruto said in an almost entirely evil voice. Everyone visibly shivered. I barely get food. I'm not pampered. I'm beaten by my own village. Naruto said before being cut off. So? You have both your parents and friends. I don't have any friends and I lost my father. Inari said before being cut off. Shut up, Naruto yelled, turning on his heels and glaring at Inari. It looked like he was peering through the boy's soul. You know the love of a parent, I never had any. They both died during my birth. I have lived alone in an apartment all my life with no friends. How do you think that feels? I have been beaten and tortured by all the villagers to an inch within death. I have been called a monster because of something I had no control over, just because I was born that night. You don't know what it's like to be in my shoes. Naruto yelled. Everyone just sat shocked at his sudden breakdown. He tried to walk out the door but felt a hand on his shoulder. He turned his head slightly to see the worried look of Sasuke. He just brushed the hand away and walked out the door. Naruto, all the genin and jounin murmured at once, eyes still on the door. Humph. Well, he doesn't know what it's like to have a mark branded on his body. He doesn't have it as bad as me, Niji said. The jounin frowned and the genin's eyes widened. You really think you're the only one who has a seal on you? Naruto saved our village the day he was born. The jounin muttered, thinking the genin didn't hear. The genin's eyes widened and they stared after Naruto. Sasuke quickly got back up from his seat and ran to the door. Sasuke, where are you going? Guy asked. Out to find Naruto. Sasuke said simply. He ran out the door and through the woods to find Naruto. Everyone stared after him. The jounin nodded to each other then looked at the remaining genin. Come on, we're going too. Kakashi, Guy, Asuma, and Kurenai said to their teams. Everyone nodded and left the house to find Naruto. Meanwhile, Sasuke had just found Naruto sitting in the middle of a clearing on a fallen tree. With Naruto and Sasuke, turning and understanding point in the story coming up. Sorry for some slight OCs, but I thought they would be like this if they understood each other for once. Sasuke was walking into the clearing and walked up behind Naruto. Can I sit with you? Sasuke asked. Naruto nodded and continued to stare forward. Sasuke walked up and sat down beside Naruto. At this point, the jounin and genin were watching from the trees. They watched as Sasuke sat down and decided to just listen from the bushes. Was all you said back there true? Sasuke asked. Naruto nodded sadly. Sasuke turned to look at Naruto and then forward again. Every word was completely and painfully true, Naruto said, a single tear running down his face. Well, I know what you're feeling too. I may not act it though. In fact, I know you put up an act too, don't you, Naruto? Sasuke asked. Naruto gasped and turned his head to face Sasuke. I mean, we both don't have any more family, we both have stress from the village. Me acting strong when I might not be and you trying to act like you don't care what people say. You know, I think it's funny. We have such similar pasts and we were put on the same team. Sasuke said. Naruto nodded. Like that time we both faced Itachi and he nearly killed us. Naruto said with a slight chuckle. Sasuke nodded with a sad smile. Everyone in the bushes just watched with widened eyes. Sasuke and Naruto understanding each other? If the jounin thought about it, Naruto and Sasuke had a lot in common without realizing it. By the way, Niji said something about a seal that can't be taken off. And the jounin said you saved the village the day you were born, and you also had a seal. What did they mean? Sasuke asked in an interested tone. Naruto grinned slightly. Well, I guess you could say that. It's on my stomach, Naruto said, pointing at his gut. Sasuke's eyes widened and he looked at Naruto's stomach. Why do you have a seal? Sasuke asked, thoroughly interested now. Well, it's a Luong story, and an S-class secret, Naruto said. This shocked all the genin. How do you know an S-class secret? Sasuke asked. Naruto chuckled and looked at the stars. Well, it revolves around me in every corner. There were even laws about it, Naruto said sage-like, not giving much information. Laws? What would be so important there needed to be laws? Sasuke asked. Naruto just smirked with amusement. The biggest secret of all, and it even gets me almost killed every day, Naruto said with a sage's voice again. The Jounin were amused at how Naruto was beating around the bush. The genin continued to watch and all had the same thought. Almost killed every day? But if I were to tell you, you would run like some of the people who know, Naruto said, looking at Sasuke with sadness. Sasuke's eyes widened. Is it really that bad? Sasuke asked, stunned. Well, I wouldn't know if it were bad, but definitely scary, Naruto said. Sasuke went into deep thought. No matter what it is, you are still Naruto, right? Sasuke asked with a grin. Naruto nodded. Then a thought hit him. Oh yeah, Sasuke. There is something I need to tell you first, and don't scream, okay? Naruto said. Sasuke nodded and looked at him, waiting. Now, look at my eyes and please don't scream, Naruto said as his eyes morphed into a two-tomo Sharingan. Sasuke started to choke on the air he just gasped in. Naruto continued to stare as Sasuke got a hold of himself and smiled. So, I'm not the last one? I'm not alone? Sasuke said, unsure. Naruto nodded with a smile. I may not be an Uchiha or anything, but you're definitely not alone, Naruto said. Sasuke smiled happily with tears rolling down his face. He started to laugh in happiness. All the Jounin were shocked and then smiled warmly. The genin watched with confusion. Okay. Since you didn't run, I think I'm ready to say what it is. And remember, I am still Naruto. I'm no one but Naruto Uzumaki. Okay, Naruto said. Sasuke nodded and laughed happily, tears of happiness still rolling down his face. When he got serious, Naruto nodded and looked at his own stomach. Do you know how sealing works? Naruto asked. Sasuke nodded. Do you know the day I was born? Naruto asked. Sasuke thought and shook his head. October 10th, the night Kyuubi attacked, Naruto said. Sasuke's look started to turn to shock, then thinking, then realization. Sasuke eeped, and all the genin had looks of realization and looked at Naruto with saddened looks. So that's why he always had the smell of a fox around him, Kiba whispered in a shocked tone. And that's why he has such enormous sea chakra reserves, Hinata said in shock. So, it's in here? Sasuke said, poking Naruto on the stomach. He looked up at Naruto's face to see a sad look in Naruto's eyes. And that's why you have these? Sasuke said, poking Naruto's whiskers. He burst into laughter and fell on his side. Stop it. That tickles, Naruto yelled in a fit of laughter. Sasuke laughed. That was Naruto, all right. Naruto then sat up with his serious demeanor back in place. He looked at Sasuke and smiled sadly. I am the Kyuubi's Jinchuriki. That night, the Yondaime sealed the Kyuubi into a baby who had just been born. The only baby born that day, Naruto said, gritting his teeth at the last part. And the villagers always saw me as the thing sealed inside me, not the real me. They don't understand I'm basically a walking jail cell for the Kyuubi, and they treat me like I was the demon itself, Naruto said, tears streaming from his eyes. Sasuke gasped at how hard Naruto's life must have been. Do you feel it inside you? Sasuke asked, concern written on his face. No, but I can always feel its evil chakra, my chakra, and the seal holds it away. but whenever I get overly emotional, that chakra boils to the surface. Do you remember the red chakra that came up when Sakura insulted my parents? Naruto said. Sasuke's eyes studied him and he nodded. That was the nine-tailed fox's chakra, Naruto said sadly. All the genin shivered at how the chakra before felt. Sometimes, I wish I wasn't its Jinchuriki, but if it were taken out or I let it out, it would be a sure death for me, Naruto said. Everyone's eyes turned sad. Does anyone else know? Sasuke asked. Naruto nodded. Only the adults. There was a law passed that forbade anyone from talking about the Kyuubi. Except me, of course. It's inside me, so when I feel like I can tell someone, it's okay for me to tell them. The old man just wanted me to have a normal life. Too bad the villagers' hatred took over their minds, Naruto said. All the genin were gaping at what Naruto was saying now. Well, as long as you stay as Naruto and not the Nine Tails, I'm okay with you, Sasuke said. Naruto smiled and laughed, tears flowing from his eyes. The people hiding decided to come out now. They walked up to the two and Naruto gasped. He jumped a few feet back. Please don't hate me. Sasuke doesn't. He yelled before everyone stood in front of him. They didn't have the looks of hatred the villagers had. We don't hate you, in fact. I'm glad some of our questions were solved. Right, guys? Shikamaru said. Naruto's eyes widened and he cocked his head to the side. Huh, was Naruto's genius reply. Why, you have a fox-like scent, Kiba said with a grin. Wyuh have so much sea chakra, Hinata said with a blush. Why the villagers always looked at you with hate, Shino said. Why you heal so fast, Ino said. By the way, one more question? Shikamaru said. Naruto nodded. Glad they didn't hate them. Do you and Kyuubi ever talk? Shikamaru asked. Everyone turned to Naruto, who looked confused. What do you mean? Naruto asked. Shikamaru smiled. That was Naruto, all right. In class, they said Jinchuriki could talk to their bijou. They didn't say much, but I was just wondering, Shikamaru said. Well, I don't really know. I guess I never thought about it, Naruto said, thinking if he ever heard a voice in his head. Ino, do you know any mind techniques that could get us into Naruto's seal? There is something you all need to see since Naruto is confessing, Kakashi said. All the other jounin nodded. Ino was about to do the mind-body transmission just do. What are you talking about? Naruto asked. Kakashi turned to him with a serious look. You'll see, and don't worry. It's safe, Kakashi said. Naruto took on a scared expression. And what do you mean going into my seal? Kyuubi will eat you, Naruto said, scared. The genin looked at Naruto and gasped. He was scared Kyuubi would eat them. Don't worry. You'll see why in a minute, Kakashi said, nodding at Ino. Ino focused on Naruto's mind, and then they were all in a sewer. Where are we? What's going on? Naruto yelled, looking around frantically. He noticed all the genin and jounin except Kakashi looking around with confused looks. They looked at Naruto and saw him freaking out. Naruto, calm down. We're in your mind, Kakashi said, trying to calm Naruto down. Why does my mind look like a sewer then? Naruto yelled. Kakashi looked around and his eyes widened. I don't know actually, Kakashi said. They all started to walk through Naruto's mind, looking in a door of memories Naruto had. They all continued going through Naruto's mind. Some of the genin and jounin were crying by the time they got to the 10th memory. Then they saw another and watched with wide eyes. Memory they were watching. Mizuki ran at Iruka with a giant Fuma shuriken and Naruto jumped from behind a tree and smashed him in the face. If you ever lay a hand on my sensei, I'll kill you, Naruto yelled. Mizuki got up. What are you going to do now, Nine Tails? Mizuki said. Naruto smirked. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto yelled. 2,000 Narutos appeared and beat up Mizuki. I might have gone a little overboard, Naruto said, rubbing his head sheepishly. Naruto, come here and close your eyes, Iruka said. Naruto walked up and when he opened his eyes he saw Iruka's headband was gone. Congratulations, Naruto, you graduate, Iruka said. Iruka-sensei, Naruto said as he jumped on Iruka, knocking him to the ground. Memory end. Everyone looked at Naruto in shock. So that's how you became a genin. You beat Mizuki-sensei when he tried to betray us, Shikamaru said with a smile. That question was solved. Yeah, that's also the night I found out about Kyuubi. Mizuki told me I was the Nine Tails and for a moment I believed it. Then Iruka-sensei told me I wasn't. He was the first person to acknowledge me. Naruto said. Everyone nodded. They continued to walk until they came to an old memory when Naruto was about 5. Memory they are watching. /n. I just copy and pasted the memory and so sorry if it sounds odd. Just leave me alone, Naruto yelled at the mob of villagers running after him. He turned a corner and was scared to find a dead end. Oh no, he thought. He turned around to find the villagers were coming around the corner. He was even scared more to see a few Chunin in the crowd. You're going to die today, demon, one of the Chunin yelled. Naruto just kept backing away till he felt the wall behind him. He looked up at the crowd with pure fear. He braced for the pain when he heard the whistle of a kunai being thrown. It hit him in the leg. He screamed and grabbed his leg in pain. He opened his eyes to see the kunai sticking out of his leg. He was going to pull it out when he heard more whistling noises. He screamed in pain again as several kunai hit him in the leg, arms, stomach, and one flew by his face, just giving him a bleeding cut. He couldn't move anymore. He just laid down and waited for the pain to come. The 3 people in Naruto's head winced as they heard Naruto's muffled screams ring out in his head. After about 5 minutes of internal screaming, they had to cover their ears when one of the Chunin in the crowd came up and bent his leg backwards, causing his to let out a blood-curdling scream. Finally, after 5 more minutes, the Chunin in the crowd were going to use a small fire jutsu on him. It wouldn't kill him, but it would give him lots of pain. They made the hand signs for the fire jutsu, and when they were about to use it, they were stopped by 4 angry faces and 1 mask. But underneath, the man was fuming. What the hell do you think you're doing? Kakashi and Asuma yelled. Oh, so you're going to protect that freak? One of the Chunin yelled, earning a boost in killing intent. Asuma, look after Naruto. I'll deal with these people, Kakashi said in an angry voice. Asuma nodded and ran quickly to Naruto's side. Naruto's vision was very shaky. It would blur into focus then out again. Even though his vision was blurry, Naruto could make out 4 worried faces looking down on him now. One was a woman with black hair and red eyes. The second lady had purple hair and brown eyes. He somewhat recognized the other one. It was Asuma. He had brown eyes and black hair. The last one was an ANBU with a weasel mask, black hair, and Naruto could see 2 coal-black eyes. He could easily tell they were all worried. Kurenai, do you know any medical ninjutsu? The ANBU asked frantically to the girl with black hair and red eyes. No, I don't. Anko, do you? Kurenai asked the girl with purple hair and brown eyes. No, and I know the hospital won't accept him. The last time they did, they tried to poison him, Anko said with anger in her features. At this point, Kakashi was running up to Naruto. He looked down with a worried expression. Naruto was blinking very slowly, barely holding on to consciousness. Itachi, do you have any bandages? Kakashi asked the ANBU. No, I don't, Itachi said in a worried voice. They all looked down at Naruto again with worried expressions. I can't feel my leg, Naruto said between breaths. When Anko quickly grabbed the leg and twisted it forward, so it would heal correctly, everyone inside and outside Naruto's mind visibly winced when Naruto let out another blood-curdling scream. Anko, Itachi, Kurenai, Asuma, and Kakashi yelled. They watched as Naruto held his leg in pain and cried out. With pained expressions, they continued to watch. Itachi, use your Sharingan, Asuma said. Itachi nodded and activated his Sharingan, making Naruto go into a daydream-like state. The boy just stared ahead to show it had worked. He looked around at everyone who had worried expressions on their faces. He wondered if Naruto had seen anything he shouldn't have. Do you think he saw anything that would hurt him? Asuma asked in a concerned voice. Everyone frowned and Itachi had an idea. Do you want me to go into his mind and see if he saw anything? Itachi asked. Everyone nodded, looking at Naruto's sleeping face. Memory end. After watching the memory, everyone looked at Naruto with shocked looks. Why, you remembered that? Kurenai asked with a sad voice. Naruto nodded. That was one of the beatings you got as a child? Sasuke and Shikamaru asked. Naruto nodded and all the genin gasped in horror. At least once a day to a week, Naruto said with a sad expression. All the genin looked at Naruto with horrified eyes. How did you survive that? Neji asked. Naruto looked back at the memory. Sometimes I wonder that myself, Naruto said. They all continued walking until they felt the Kyuubi's chakra. They all froze in their spots. Kakashi nodded them forward and they all walked into a large room with a cage in the back. Hinata and Neji activated their Byakugans and jumped back. The N9 T-Tails chakra. It's so immense, Hinata said. Neji said the same thing but without the stutter. Naruto walked forward with widened eyes. He looked into the cage only for two red slit eyes to appear. He stood his ground and stared at the eyes. Then a claw flew through the cage. Naruto jumped back screaming. Do not mess with me, Kit, the Kyuubi said. Everyone gasped. Why, you're the Kyuubi, Naruto said in a frightened voice. Yes, Kit, I am the Kyuubi, and I would eat you if this accursed seal wasn't in the way. Kyuubi growled out. Naruto jumped behind Kakashi in fear. All the genin were standing and staring at a scared Naruto. Then three figures came forward. The fourth Hokage, Madara Uchiha, and Nagato. Naruto gasped and jumped from behind Kakashi. Who are you people? Naruto yelled in fear, pointing at them. Oh, is that any way to treat a family member? I am Nagato, little Naruto. Nagato said. Naruto looked at him in shock. What? Naruto stuttered, not believing it. And how is that any way to treat the person who helped you get the Sharingan? I am Madara Uchiha, Madara said. Everyone's eyes widened and Naruto fell on the ground with wide eyes. Am I Madara Uchiha? Naruto yelled in a horrified voice. The last person then stepped forward in front of Naruto, helping him up. Hello, Naruto, Minato said. Naruto's eyes were threatening to explode. Fourth Hokage? Naruto said. Minato smiled. Naruto, Minato said. Confusion took over Naruto's face. How do you know my name? Naruto asked. Minato smiled. All the genin watched with wide eyes as Minato smiled. Naruto standing next to the fourth looking like a small version of him was scary for everyone else. Because I'm the one who named you. Because the truth is, you are my son, Minato said. Tears ran down Naruto's face and he laughed like this couldn't be real. All the genin's eyes widened and their mouths dropped open. Am my father? Naruto said, still disbelieving. Everyone watched the scene with widened eyes. Yes, Naruto, I am your father, Minato said. Then he was crumpled on the floor when Naruto punched him in the stomach. Everyone gasped. Why would you want to seal the 9 tails inside of your own son? Do you have any idea what I went through because of that? All the villagers looked at me in anger or fear. They even made their kids fear me and run away. Why would you do that to your own son? Naruto yelled, tears still pouring from his eyes. He then started to rub his hair like he was going to rip it out. All the genin watched with widened eyes and the jounin gained tears in their eyes. Because you are my son, I trusted you could control that power. A parent's job is to have faith in their children, Minato said. Naruto's eyes widened as more tears continued to fall. Everyone else's eyes widened at what Minato's reasons were. You trust me? Naruto said slowly, then his eyes widened. Wait a minute, then why is Madara Uchiha and Nagato in here? What are you doing here? How many things are sealed inside me? Naruto said in a panicked voice. Minato just laid a hand on Naruto's shoulder. That's a story you'll have to listen to. The truth behind the Nine Tails attack on the hidden leaf. Minato said. Everyone sat down in front of him and listened as he sat and explained everything. First, let's start with your mother. Have you had the birds and the bees talk yet? Minato asked. Naruto blushed. Dad, Naruto said. Everyone snickered. I was just asking, Minato said with a laugh. Anyways, Kushina was due for October 10th. We were so happy to finally have a child, but there was one problem. A Jinchuriki's seal weakens during the pregnancy and labor process. Minato continued. Naruto gasped. So mom was a Jinchuriki too? Naruto asked. Minato nodded. Yes, first Mito Uzumaki, wife of the first Hokage, then Kushina Uzumaki, your mother, then you, Naruto Uzumaki. Minato said. Everyone's eyes widened. So I'm related to the first, second, and fourth Hokages, and I'm also the third person in our family to be a Jinchuriki? Naruto said, astonished. Minato nodded and continued. So, during the birth Kushina was taken away from the village, so if the Kyuubi broke out of the seal, we could stop it. When she had just given birth to you, the nurses were going to give you to your mother when they were killed by that guy over there. Minato said, pointing at Madara who was standing next to Minato. He just waved. He held you in his arms, kunai at your heart. He threatened to kill you if I didn't step away from your mother. Then Nagato came into view. He has the Rinnegan, so he brought Madara back to life when he died. It's an ability of the Rinnegan. Minato said. Nagato waved. Madara threw you into the air and tried to stab you. I used my signature jutsu and saved you, but he got your mother. I laid you in the crib at home and went to save your mother, but it was too late. The Kyuubi was extracted from her and she was inches from death. I summoned Gamabunta, a summoning from Jiraiya Sensei's summoning contract. I managed to get the Kyuubi, Kushina, and you away from the village before anyone else died. When we were in the middle of the sealing process, the Kyuubi tried to kill you with its claw. Kushina and me jumped in front of it and blocked you from being killed. We would gladly give our lives for our son. Minato continued before being cut off. You would have given your life for me? Naruto asked, happiness filling him. Minato nodded. Then Madara spoke. And when this idiot sealed the Kyuubi, he forgot me and Nagato were on its head, and he pushed so much chakra into the seal, he got sealed too. Madara finished. Everyone's mouths were gaping. So let me get this straight. I have the Kyuubi, Madara Uchiha a Sharingan user, Nagato Uzumaki a Rinnegan user, and my own father sealed inside me? Naruto said, yelling the last part. All of the tenants in Naruto's head nodded. I feel like I'm going to be sick, Naruto muttered as he ran away to a corner of the room. When he came back, he looked better. So why did Madara attack the village with the 9 tails? Sasuke asked. Madara sighed. At the time, I was consumed by revenge. By the way, we saw the massacre from Naruto's eyes that night. Don't try to get revenge. Your brother did it for a reason. You know that too. Madara said. Sasuke thought about it and his eyes widened. You're right. He was never the one to go on a massacre. He hated violence. Sasuke said in realization. Naruto, come rip this seal off so I can rip you to shreds. Kyuubi yelled. Naruto looked at him. Then I think I'll stay over here. Kyuubi, Naruto said, making everyone laugh. Kyuubi, what was our deal when we were first sealed into little Naruto? Nagato asked harshly. Kyuubi laid down.
That's crazy.
You said I was not to hurt Naruto or suffer your wrath.
What is my line doing?
Kyuubi said. Everyone laughed and Nagato smiled. Good. Now remember that, Nagato said, looking back at Naruto. What? I think of you as a brother after watching you grow up, Nagato said innocently. Naruto's eyes widened and tears spilled from his eyes again. Gosh, I'm crying so much tonight. I can't help it, Naruto said happily. Everyone smiled. Oh, Dad, I have a question that I always wanted to ask you. How did you and Mom fall in love? Naruto asked. Minato
Nope,
blushed
I'm dead.
crimson and everyone
Am I
snickered.
dead?
W well. Aha well. Minato said
Yeah, I
nervously,
am, okay.
flushing a brighter shade of red. Everyone snickered some more. Then he decided where to start.
Dude, why am I
Well,
against a
I
pocketed
think I have
BB
an
on the first
idea,
game of the day?
Minato said, thinking of an idea. What? Naruto said.
With voltage as my auto
Minato just
DPS
smiled like a
to add
maniac,
on top
making
of
everyone
that.
step back. Well, when I sealed the 9 tails into you, I put in my chakra so if the seal broke, I could come back and reseal it. Then I added someone special's chakra so when you tried to control the 9 tails power, that person could help you. But
No way.
since
No way,
we're all sealed inside
okay,
you,
got him,
you
got
will
him.
have some help anyway. Minato said,
No way,
motioning
she
towards the
fucking
seal
does.
on the cage. What? What am I supposed to do? Naruto asked. You're going to rip the seal off,
if I didn't reload, I
battle
kill
the
him, by the
QB,
way.
and take his power
If I don't
away
reload
from
that, I
him.
kill him.
Minato said, then had a realization.
Hey, Midnight, thank you for the 3
I almost
streak.
forgot. I want to teach you a few things before you do anything. Of course, you won't be able to do them outside your mind until you actually learn them, but in here you could do them easily. My own jutsu, the Rasengan. Minato said. Naruto's eyes widened. I will also teach you to enter Sage mode. You won't have to worry about any side effects in your mind either. You can do anything in your mind. Minato said. Naruto's eyes widened. Can I made it not look like a sewer? Naruto asked. Minato smiled sheepishly.
Yes, obviously, for
Okay,
Freya.
maybe not anything, Minato said, making everyone laugh. Okay, first, gather chakra in your hand and make it swirl randomly. Imagine a small ball of swirling chakra. Like this, Minato said, making a Rasengan in his hands. Okay, Naruto said, making a ball of chakra in his hands identical to his father's. All the Jounin watched with wide eyes at how much Naruto looked like his father now. Minato smiled. Good, I was right. You can do any jutsu you please in your mind. If you have enough chakra, which won't be a problem for you. Minato said, smiling. Then he explained Sage mode.
3, 2,
Okay now,
1.
focus on energy in the environment. Draw it in and keep it steady. Minato said, entering Sage mode. His eyes went yellow like a frog's and got an orange coloring around them. /N, like Naruto's Sage mode.
Really?
Naruto did the same and got the same results. Everyone continued watching as Minato taught Naruto a few things that would help him in his fight. And Naruto, if you want a larger Rasengan, add nature energy to it. Good luck, Minato said. Everyone backed off to the side of the room, watching Naruto walk slowly up to the cage. He turned around. Dad, are you sure he won't just eat me and be done with it? Naruto asked. Everyone chuckled and Minato nodded. Yes, he won't eat
like
you,
the fact that
Minato
just
said,
concussion
gaining
and
some small
one aerial
laughs.
shot is killing him.
Okay, Naruto
This
said,
is kind of nice.
floating up to the slip that said seal on it. He ripped it off. Underneath was a spiral.
Wait, would you even
He
win the
applied
fight?
chakra to his fingers and turned the seal on his stomach, undoing the spiral. QB smashed the cage open with his claws and stepped
Okay,
out.
yeah, bro,
He
bro.
roared,
Brink
sending
needs to
Naruto
book me
flying.
like 5,000
/N.
meters, by the way.
The fight will be kind of the same. Since he can do anything in his mind, I'm gonna make him envision the jutsu and then make
You're
them
the
happen
best,
in real
nah,
life later.
I feel like I'm just the
Like
worst
the
fucking
Rasen
player
Shuriken.
right now.
Gah! He's
Even
so
though my
strong.
line is making it
Naruto
really
yelled,
difficult for
covering
me to
his
claim
face
this
from the
title.
powerful gust of wind. Everyone watched as QB summoned his chakra, making a compressed purple sphere. It shrank down and he appeared to eat it. He held it in his mouth before he opened his mouth and growled ferally, smoke billowing out. Then he opened his mouth wider and a beam shot out of his mouth, causing the floor rise up by force. The genin gasped at the power and the Jounin paled, recognizing the technique from 12 years ago. Tailed Beast Bomb. The Jounin yelled, shocking the genin as they watched Naruto just manage to get out of the way. The QB's 9 tails were waving around violently. Some of the genin were about to wet their pants. When they saw Naruto, they tried to keep their eyes on him. Naruto then entered Sage mode. He jumped into the air and made a Rasengan with his clone and yelled, Sage Art, Super Giant Rasengan. Naruto yelled as he added chakra to it. It grew to the size of 3 of QB's tails. He pushed the giant Rasengan forward only for it to be blocked by 3 of Kyuubi's tails, causing large waves of water to fly into the air. Kyuubi growled fiercely and threw Naruto back, disabling his Rasengan. He roared so loud that the whole room shook. Naruto then dodged as multiple tails flew up, trying to stab at him. He continued to dodge until the Kyuubi's claw came on top of him, smashing him down and pinning him to the ground. So fast,
Bro, this book
Naruto
was
thought,
bullshit, and
since
you
they
know
were
it.
all
I
in
was
his
so
mind,
far from the edge.
everyone heard the thought echo around the room. Kyuubi pinned Naruto to the ground and lowered his head to look at him with his large red slit eyes. "Do you think you can beat me?" Kyuubi said in his dark, evil voice, making everyone shiver. Naruto continued to squirm. "Why would I break the seal otherwise? Besides," Naruto said as Kyuubi felt something grab one of his tails. "We gotcha!" Naruto yelled. The shadow clone under Kyuubi's claw poofed out of existence. Naruto flipped Kyuubi over on his back, with a yell of surprise from Kyuubi. "What monstrous strength," Kurenai said. Minato nodded. "It's from Sage Mode," Minato said. Everyone continued watching. Then they saw Naruto in the air with 2 shadow clones. They were making a normal Rasengan, then it turned into a shuriken. The feel of the chakra made the Jounin gasp. "That feels like a strong wind affinity," Asuma said in shock.
Flash Shield.
All the genin watched with widened eyes as Naruto prepared to throw it at Kyuubi.
In the air.
"And now my newly imagined move made from my own chakra and not yours,"
but no,
Naruto yelled. Everyone's eyes widened when he said he just thought about it. "Wind style, Rasen Shuriken," Naruto yelled. Everyone gaped as he threw it at Kyuubi.
Okay.
The explosion was so big that even Kyuubi was dazed. "How did
Whoa,
he do that?"
like,
Kakashi asked. Minato watched with widened eyes. "Well, I did say he could do anything in his mind. He just made a new jutsu that could be made at real life, but only by him," Minato said with shock pure in his voice. "Do it now," Naruto yelled, his chakra grabbing onto Kyuubi's chakra. Kyuubi tried to get up and growled. "You bastard," Kyuubi yelled. Everyone watched as Naruto continued to pull Kyuubi's chakra away. "He's weakening. Now's my chance," Naruto thought. The thought rumbled through the sewers. Then to everyone's shock, Kyuubi growled and sent something red up the chakra. The red aura engulfed Naruto's chakra and he grunted, trying to hold on. Hatred, suffering, "I want to kill," rumbled throughout the room. Naruto gasped. "What?" Naruto yelled, trying to pull on the chakra. Then eerie voices rumbled throughout the sewers. "Help!
And my
I hate all
goes
this.
and shot those
It's not going to work anyway. I'll get revenge."
So low, by the way.
Naruto grabbed his head with one hand. "What is this?"
Okay.
Naruto thought. The thought rumbled through the sewers. He continued holding his head. His chakra started to flow away and towards Kyuubi slowly. "Naruto, don't give in. That's what Kyuubi wants," Nagato and Minato yelled. Everyone continued watching. "Naruto," some of the genin yelled. Naruto continued holding his head. Naruto's Sage Mode faded away and Kyuubi leaned up slightly. "You cannot control my power. You are just a small portion of my hatred," Kyuubi said. Naruto started to pant and his eyes widened as he heard past remarks rumble through the sewers. "Is he the one? Get lost. No one will ever respect someone like you. Get lost.
Oh, he wants to at least.
Get lost. Get lost. Get lost. Just go away."
Like, bro,
Everyone
what do you
gasped.
think? We were born
They realized
yesterday?
these were memories Kyuubi
Least
was sending
obvious
back at
shutter in
Naruto
the
from his
fucking
past,
universe, by the
trying to
way.
make him give in. "Go away and disappear,"
Oh my God.
Naruto said with a pained voice. Everyone saw one of Naruto's eyes turn red with a slit, like Kyuubi's eyes, and black in the whites of his eyes. It looked absolutely demonic to them. Everyone then watched with wide eyes as the sewer melted away and they were in a shining gold room. They then heard a soft voice. "It's all right, you can stay right here," Naruto opened his eyes to see a fiery red-haired woman with dark blue eyes looking at him. Naruto, Kushina said. What? What are you doing here? Naruto said, staring at the woman. Everyone else noticed that the two didn't seem to notice them, so they just stayed put and watched. And how do you know my name? Naruto asked. Oh yes, that's right. Well then, Naruto, can you guess who I am? Kushina said.
No,
Naruto stared at her for a little bit, making her giggle. Then he spoke. No way, Naruto said. Have you figured it out? Kushina asked, smiling. Your Nine Tails real form, Naruto yelled, pointing at her. Everyone watching face-bombed. She froze for a minute, then grabbed her stomach and laughed. That's such a crude laugh. You're trying to fool me by disguising yourself as a woman? Nine Tails, Naruto yelled. Kushina's hair flew up like tails and she hit Naruto on the head. You got it wrong, you know? She yelled. Ouch, Naruto yelled as he jumped back, holding his head in pain. Huh, you know? Naruto asked in confusion. Kushina rubbed her head sheepishly, laughing nervously. Everyone watching recognized that Naruto said that a lot too. I couldn't stop myself from hitting you. I was born impatient, and I talk fast, so I use some weird phrases. I try to control it, but it slips out when I get excited. What about you? I hope you didn't get any of my bad speech patterns, Kushina said. All the people watching thought the same thing. He did get your speech patterns? And your attitude for that matter.
My fucking
Then,
killed himself in
Naruto
about 3
said,
seconds.
Minato didn't say anything to you? Shame on him.
And dies
Kushina
again.
said. Naruto
what am I
started to
supposed
quiver.
to do?
Yes, she said before being cut off by Naruto running into her and hugging her, while shaking. She smiled. I've wanted to meet you for so long, Ma. You know? Naruto said. Everyone watched as the eye that looked like Kyuubi's with black around it changed back to the normal pure blue and let some tears fall. You know, huh? You really are my child, Kushina said, making everyone smile. After a little bit, Naruto pulled away with a big smile. There's tons of stuff I wanted to ask you when I met you, Naruto said, literally jumping in joy. Sure, you can ask me anything, but first, we must tame the Nine Tails, Kushina said. Everyone watched as Naruto yelled and chains shot out of him, restraining Kyuubi. This chakra, Kushina, is that you? Kyuubi said, shocking all the Jounin and Genin. Everyone then turned to watch Kushina and Naruto, who were sitting on the ground. Minato embedded my chakra into the seal formula, so that when the time came for you to take control of the Nine Tails power, I could be of help, Kushina said. Naruto continued smiling. Are you listening? Kushina asked. Naruto put his hands behind his head. I'm glad that you're so beautiful, Ma, Naruto said, making everyone laugh. Well, thank you. Your hair is just like your father's. But I'm sorry you inherited my looks, Naruto, Kushina said, giggling. Why? If I got my pretty mom's looks, that makes me handsome, right? And you have nice, straight red hair. I wish my hair were like that too, Naruto said, making everyone laugh again. Kushina giggled.
Yeah.
You are the second man to compliment my red hair, Kushina said. Naruto looked at her. Really? Who was the first? Naruto asked. Kushina smiled. Who else? Your father, Kushina said, laying a hand on Naruto's shoulder. Oh, that's right, Naruto said. What is it? Kushina asked, confused. Hey, I always wanted to ask you one thing if I ever met you. How did you and Dad fall in love? Naruto asked. Kushina blushed and giggled. What an embarrassing thing to ask, you know? Kushina said. Hey, you said, you know, you're excited. Naruto said, laughing. Everyone else laughed too. In this case, it's more like shaken up, you know? Kushina said. Naruto and everyone laughed again. Hey, you said it again, Naruto said. Laughing, Kushina blushed and smiled. Everyone else laughed. Let's see, Kushina said, recalling the events. Note, Italics means it's in the story and normal text means outside the story. Also, they are basically seeing her memories in a way so they can see the interactions in the story. It was the first day I came to the Hidden Leaf Village. That's when I first met your father, Minato. All right, we have a new transfer student today who will be attending our academy. The teacher said, I'm Kushina Uzumaki, you know? Oh,
funny.
Kushina said, covering her mouth quickly. Look at the color of her hair. One kid whispered, how can anyone have hair like that? Another kid whispered, how do you get it that red? Another asked, her hair's really weird. A different kid whispered, I wouldn't even date hair like that. Another kid said, hey, be quiet. Settle down. The teacher said, I'm going to become the village's first female Hokage. Kushina yelled. Then 12-year-old Minato stood up. I want to become a great Hokage who will be admired by everyone in the village too, Minato said, smiling. A Hokage who is admired by everyone in the village, huh? Naruto said. Everyone smiled. Okay, now I see a huge resemblance. He is so much like his parents, it's unbelievable. Sasuke said. Everyone nodded. Back then, he wasn't very manly and didn't look too dependable. So I didn't take Minato seriously or believe for a minute that he could become a Hokage. Kushina said. Naruto looked confused. Why not? Dad looked so strong. Naruto said. You're right, but back then, I was very young and ignorant. Kushina said. Then she giggled, confusing Naruto. But I sure was arrogant, having moved from another village and announcing that I was going to become the Hokage. After that, I started getting teased by the boys. They nicknamed me, Kushina said, trailing back into the story. Tomato. From now on, we're gonna call you Tomato. You have a fat, round face and red hair. Just like a tomato, one boy said. As if a tomato can become the Hokage, another said. I hate tomatoes, the first boy said. Me too. I never eat it in my salad, another boy said. A tomato that everyone hates can never be accepted as Hokage, the first boy said. All of them laughed.
Oh, hello,
so that's it. I'll bet it was Dad who protected you from those bullies.
Perfect
Naruto
timing on
said.
that rally, by the
Everyone
way.
but Minato
I was
thought
looking
so
for a
too.
target.
No, you dead wrong, Kushina said, cracked her knuckles making Naruto and everyone else flinch. Tomato, I grudgingly accepted being called that name. It was embarrassing, but it fit me perfectly, Kushina said, trailing back into the story. You're getting redder and riper. It's the tomato festival. It's time to harvest, one boy said, pulling Kushina's hair. Kushina grabbed his hand. Who are you calling tomato? Now you listen. I hate tomatoes too, you know? Kushina yelled, throwing all the boys around the room. She jumped on one and started to punch him.
You know what I hate?
Keep calling me tomato and you're going to get it, you know? Kushina yelled, punching the boy harder. She turned and saw Minato and another boy laughing. What are you laughing at? Kushina yelled. Minato jumped and turned quickly, looking at her out the corner of his eyes. I always beat those bullies at their own game and turned them into smashed tomatoes, Kushina said, cracking her knuckles again. The girl with the long red hair who beat the boys half to death.
That's kind of funny,
As expected, I was stuck with a new nickname, the Red Hot Habanero, Kushina said. All the Genin's eyes widened as they remembered the name from class. The most fearsome kunoichi in Konoha was Naruto's mother. Kiba and Shikamaru were always saying that mothers are really scary.
We'll see.
They were right. Naruto's thought echoed through the sewers. All the Jounin and Genin laughed as Kushina looked at Naruto, then went on. Always fighting. Of course, I always won these fights as the Red Hot Habanero. But, Kushina said, going back to the story. A kid from my class walked out from behind a tree.
I mean, I guess
behind him, he had his Genin older brother. Are you the one always making my kid brother cry? The brother asked. That's because he's always messing with me, you know?
And then both
And he's
team
such a wimp,
had good
Kushina
support
yelled.
and
The boy looked away.
terrible.
I'm a genin. Cool.
So
Huh?
in a way,
I
the
have
game
to
was
teach
actually
anyone
even.
who bullies my kid brother a lesson, he said, cracking his knuckles. We were jumping through the tress and he threw a real kunai at me. I turned
Oh
on
shit, I
him and
forgot to
clothes pinned
disable
him in the
that.
neck. Turned out he did a substitution and he
Glad
grabbed
he's
my
not
hair
here.
so I couldn't run. You can't even recognize a substitution jutsu? You're still
Yeah,
just a
disable
kid.
that and I'll
Your
give you
hair's so
back
red
that
and it's stiff like
100
thread.
points.
Hair like this is ugly, his brother said. The kid from Kushina's class walked up and laughed in her face. Serves you right. The boy laughed before gasped at Kushina, who was crying. I don't like my hair either, Kushina yelled. Breaking out of the boy's grasp, she then
It is what it
proceeded
is.
to beat him up.
At least we won the
But
game. Actually, it
even with
wasn't too
hair
bad
like
of a
this,
game.
I'm still me, Kushina yelled, beating up the
Considering my
genin.
soldier was good,
The
he
little
probably
brother ran
wasn't.
away
Just him
screaming.
existing with
The red-hot
aimbot and aerial
habanero.
distressor, made it
Outsider.
really hard for
Like an
Ridley to
outsider could
exist.
become the Hokage. The brother yelled, leaving. Kushina looked up and saw Minato in a tree. Not going to help an
We're
outsider?
going back to
You
Legend
agree
5
with
and
them
stuff
too,
for
don't
the
you?
season.
Kushina yelled.
I'm trying to see if I
Minato
can get
said,
Legend 3 again.
before Kushina ran away crying. Why did I ever say I wanted to become Hokage? Kushina thought. I used to hate my hair, but a certain incident changed the way I felt about my red hair, Kushina said. A certain incident? Naruto asked. Kushina continued. I'm home. I'm home. Is anyone home? Kushina called, stopping and looking in the kitchen. Then she saw a few ninja rise out of the shadows. She gasped and ran. Someone, help me, Kushina yelled, running until she was caught. I have a special kind of chakra. Because of that, the hidden cloud kidnapped me. Was it the 9 tails they were after? Naruto asked, shocking Kushina. How? Kushina asked. Naruto smiled.
Wait, another fast Q.
Dad
Is it
told
Libby
me.
again?
Naruto said. Kushina
Probably
nodded.
is. I got voltage.
Yes, I have chakra to suppress the QB, and I also was the QB's
he's still in
Jinchuriki
Q.
before you.
We're
They
gonna be
wanted
facing
that too.
someone else.
Kushina said, then continued. Kushina fell over and they ninja pull on the binds holding her.
And now I don't know
Hey,
the support.
get up,
So
An of the ninja said.
gonna be
At that
fucking-
time, in order to leave a trail behind as I was being taken
gonna be
away,
difficult.
I cut off pieces of my hair and dropped it, without the enemy knowing. But
we'll
since
be
I was an
fine,
outsider, I didn't hold
believe.
out any hope that someone would come to rescue me. We had come to the edge of the border, and I thought it was all over. Behind
If
her,
it's
the
Libby
3 ninja
again,
were
I
killed
swear.
one by one. She just kept walking, not registering what was going on. Minato dropped in front of her. Are you hurt? Someone asked. Kushina looked up as the moon lit
Team
up
of
the dark.
Flyers.
Minato was a few feet in front of
They have
her.
a Junkrat.
I came
Which
to
is
save
good,
you,
'cause I can beat
he
the
said,
Junkrat.
smiling. She smiled, then fell to her knees. He rushed and caught her before she was on the ground. You'll be all right now, Minato said, picking her up bridal style. Hey, wait a minute, Kushina said. Minato
it's
jumped into the
Dako.
air,
I
the
don't think
moon
I've ever
illuminating
played
the
against
night.
Dako and his
Kushina
Junkrat
looked at his
duo.
smiling face, then at his hand. In his hand were a few strands of her hair. That's, she said disbelievingly. Your hair is beautiful, so I noticed it right away, Minato said, smiling. Kushina looked away.
Accelerando. Who is
But you always
Accelerando?
ignored me, Kushina said. Because I know that you're strong
Hey,
in
Nim.
body and in spirit. But this is a fight between 2 villages. This is different from your other fights, so... Minato said, landing on a tree. So,
Are they 5
Kushina
stacking?
said. Minato
actually 4
smiled.
stacking.
I didn't
Who's the
want to
body
lose
shot
you,
bandit?
Minato said. Kushina's eyes widened. The girl Jenin listening let out awes at how sweet Minato was. Even if I'm an outsider? Kushina asked. Minato looked puzzled. Why do you say that?
3, 2,
You live in the
1.
hidden leaf village, so you're one of us. Minato said.
I
At
do
that
not know my
moment,
supports.
Minato
I
was a
know
great
both
ninja in my
enemy
eyes.
supports.
He was the man of my dreams.
And that's
He
not a
changed
good
me.
thing.
This red hair I used to hate brought me the
I mean,
man
it
of
might
my
be a good
destiny.
thing. My
And it
support
became
might
the
be the
red
good.
thread of fate. After that, I learned to love my hair. And I fell in love with Minato. Naruto smiled many different smiles. No one could tell what he was thinking now, but they knew he was happy. Only men who compliment my
It's an
hair
AP
get to
flare.
hear
So
these
I could
precious
not make it
words
over the
from me.
roof.
Naruto, will you accept them?
Oh, I don't have to
Kushina
twist it.
asked. Aha! Naruto nodded with a large smile. I love you, Kushina said. Naruto's face turned to shock. Then he looked around,
Oh, that hit
his
me, by the
smile
way?
getting
Okay.
bigger. Everyone felt joy with him. Kushina then poked Naruto on the chest. When you put the yellow flash of the leaf and the red-hot habanero together,
Got his ass.
Kushina said. Naruto jumped up and laughed. You get the leaf's orange spark, Naruto yelled. Kushina smiled. A /N. I changed
Okay.
Hokage to spark because I thought it sounded better. That sounds cool, you know? Kushina said. Naruto giggled. I'm going to be Hokage like Dad, Naruto said. Giggling, Kushina smiled. Hokage, your dream is the continuation of Minato's and my dream, Kushina said happily. Everyone's eyes widened as they realized that it was true.
No, I nearly hit
Yeah.
that. Fuck.
I won't let your dreams down, Naruto said with a smile. Naruto,
It's big.
Kushina said, a tear falling from her eyes. But before that, Naruto said,
Get its ass,
looking
any
back
heal?
to where Kyuubi was. Then they were all back in the sewer. Kyuubi growled and looked at Naruto. Kushina's soft voice echoed through the
bullshit
sewers.
on me.
I love you. What is this? I feel so calm. Naruto's thought rumbled through the sewers. I love you. I feel so happy. Naruto's thought rumbled through the sewers as he opened his eyes. He yelled in determination. Damn you, Kushina, Kyuubi said.
Thank you for the
Everyone
highlight,
watched
Nim,
with
and
wide
stop
eyes as
sniping,
Naruto
please.
shoved the Nine Tails' hatred back with a
Let
yell.
me win and then you can.
My
look
chakra
at the
that's
stream.
suppressing the Kyuubi won't last much longer. This is your chance to do it, Kushina said with determination. All right, Naruto said with sheer determination in his eyes. Multi-shadow clone jutsu, Naruto yelled, making lots of shadow clones. You brat, Kyuubi yelled, trying to rip away Kushina's chakra chains.
No, my fucking.
Go,
back.
Naruto yelled.
Okay, he's back.
All the Narutos ran forward. Kyuubi ripped off the chains.
I
Just
don't
as I thought.
spy. I just
He's really
know.
strong,
That's the difference.
Kushina said. All the Narutos started to make Raisengans.
You don't know what I'm
Take
building
this,
because I
they yelled.
adjusted
Kyuubi
according
roared,
to
shaking the whole foundation of the room.
income.
All the Narutos
Or I
jumped
adjust
into the air.
order.
Rasengan Super Barrage, Naruto yelled. Kyuubi slashed at all the clones. Don't underestimate me, Kyuubi yelled. I can keep going, you know? Kushina said, making the remaining chains on one of Kyuubi's legs pull out from under him and trip him. Kyuubi fell over onto his back with
Okay,
a roar of
that's-
outrage.
That's kind
Here,
of
Naruto
shot
said,
behavior, I'm not
entering
gonna
Sage
lie.
mode. All the remaining Narutos entered Sage mode and made
The
their
cat's just
Raisengans
waiting
about
for the
as
monkey
big
to
as
jump.
Kyuubi's
Come on
head
now.
times 2. Everyone watched with widened eyes. It was so bright it almost looked
Okay,
like
let
the
me go
sun,
diff
but they
that
could
real
still
quick.
stare into it. About 70 enormous Raisengans were threatening to hit Kyuubi now. Kyuubi's eyes widened from shock. Sage Art. Massive. Raisengan Barrage. All the Narutos
Okay,
yelled in
but
Unshin,
no, those are
echoing
cat
throughout the
and flare
sewers
was
like
looking.
70 bullhorns
So I can't
taped
do
together.
that.
All 70 Raisengans hit Kyuubi and sent him flying back, smashing into the cage with a thundering thud. Then one Naruto came running at him with a Rasen Shuriken in hand. One more round, Naruto yelled.
So I need my soldier
Wind
to do
style,
something about this.
Rasen Shuriken.
Fuck-ass
Naruto
player.
yelled, hitting Kyuubi in the face, pinning him against the cage. All the Naruto clones grabbed Nine Tails chakra. Naruto held the jutsu as long as he could, keeping Kyuubi stunned at the power behind it. What kind of power is this? Kyuubi yelled, getting smashed against the cage more. Everyone watched how the tables had turned. Pull! All the clones yelled, pulling on the
No,
chakra.
I didn't get it.
Naruto was still holding the jutsu. Get out! Naruto yelled. Kyuubi went
Oh, I'm
flying
fucked.
back more, into the cage which was now not there
You
because of
die.
the force. You did it. You pulled the Nine Tails chakra out, Kushina said. All the clones disappeared and another version of the fox appeared. It was his chakra. Everyone watched with wide eyes as it all seeped into Naruto's chest. When it was done, Naruto was glowing orange and yellow, markings all over his skin and flames rolling off of him. Kyuubi
Yeah,
sat up.
she could still
He
want
now
my
looked like he
title
hadn't
because
eaten
that's
in months.
okay. That's
Naruto
so
looked at
hot.
himself.
Yay!
This is the Nine Tails, Naruto said.
I'm not there. I
Kyuubi
cannot
glared at him
help.
angrily. Naruto, you, Kyuubi said.
Dodge the junk
Naruto
back
looked
enough.
up with slight fear in his eyes. You have infuriated
Yeah.
me, Naruto, Kyuubi yelled,
5%
his
weapon
tail
power
sticking
anyway.
into the air. He made a tailed beats bomb the 7
She
times
missed
the
the
size
first
of
one, by
himself.
the way, with the exploding
Everyone
still not
gasped.
me,
The
'cause
Nine
it's
Tails
fine,
was so
I'm fine.
strong. You still have that much power, Naruto said with shock in his eyes. Kyuubi pushed so much chakra into the attack that his tongue rolled back and his eyes paled out slightly. You really are amazing, Naruto said, twisted the seal on his stomach. Red fences fell down, pinning all 9 tails and then the rest of Kyuubi. The tailed best bomb fell to pieces. This is the 6 paths? Kyuubi said in a confused tone. Then 2 large red gates closed, the spiral of the
No
seal
way.
winding back up. The cage darkened, so only one glowing, blood-red slit I was showing. You watch out,
No, I
Naruto,
missed again.
Kyuubi said, closing his eye. The cage was pitch
Dude,
black.
I can't.
I'm sorry, Kyuubi, but I'll make it up to you. So just hang in there for a little while. Naruto's thought
My
rumbled
Zarya.
through the sewers.
She didn't buy
He turned and
anything.
walked up to the shocked spectators. They all had looks of pure shock, even Minato, Madara, and Nagato. What? Naruto asked. They just gawked at him. He looked at himself and giggled. Oh, right. I'll call this
why I
Nine
was
Tails
struggling, 'cause my
chakra
Zarya
mode,
didn't buy items.
Naruto said happily.
Fuck
Then he
sake.
stopped using
Fine,
Kyuubi's
fine, she has
chakra and
items
returned
now.
to normal. Naruto, did you seriously just beat the Nine Tails? Hiba
Perfect, I have
asked.
everything.
Naruto smiled. Sure, in my own mind, Naruto said with a laugh. Everyone just stared at him in shock. Naruto, how did you come up with those moves? Minato asked. Naruto shrugged. I don't know, I just thought about them, how to do them, then named them. That one with the shuriken I named Wind Style because to me it felt like a wind jutsu. Naruto said simply. The Jounin just stared at Naruto for a little bit until
Hola,
Kakashi
hello,
spoke.
biker.
You might be a
How we
jutsu
doing?
genius. That attack was so strong even Kyuubi was stunned for a little bit. Kakashi said. They all heard Kyuubi growl in disapproval.
Big rat battle. Yes,
Shut
it's
up,
me
you
against Duck.
perverted Cyclops. Kyuubi growled out in anger.
And
Naruto
I
walked
would
up
have
to the
won this
cage.
battle, like,
Kyuubi
easily,
already
but
regained
they
its
have
usual
Mercy
appearance
and
now.
My Zarya didn't have
Hey,
bubble.
Naruto
like,
said,
didn't have
raising his
items,
hand.
But she does now.
Everyone watched as a
So
red
I'm
gate came down on
optimistic
Kyuubi's
about
neck,
this one.
pinning him down. Naruto jumped up on his cheek, standing in front of his blood-red eye. Naruto smiled, looking into the fox's eye. You know, one day I'm going to free you from all your hatred.
Can we break
I know what
bubble?
it's like to be gripped by it and want revenge. One day,
No.
you won't have to fear it anymore, Naruto said. He jumped down and walked out of the cage. He
go.
lifted his hand to release Kyuubi's head. You're
And
so
she still gets
naive.
the res off
I
because
am the
Mercy's balanced,
Kyuubi.
by the way.
I am hatred itself. Kyuubi yelled. Naruto just turned with a smirk. Well then, that's okay. I'll still take your hatred away one day, Naruto said. Kyuubi snorted in amusement and
Like-
Naruto walked towards everyone else. Everyone
Well,
had
they're all
looks of
looking at
shock
me.
written on their faces.
And I was stuck in a bad
A
spot.
slash
and
N. Just
the fact
because
that Mercy
Naruto
doesn't need
mastered
LOS to
hatred
res
doesn't
is
mean he
bullshit,
won't
and
get
we all know
angry.
this.
He just won't hold grudges too long. I thought I would make his parents help him conquer hatred when he met them so he won't exactly hold grudges. But he can get angry and have a blind rage. Then, Naruto heard splashing behind him. He turned and saw Kushina coming up to him. Naruto, you did it. You pulled the Nine Tails
They have the
chakra
better
out,
cat.
you know? She yelled. Naruto laughed and hugged her. Then her look turned
You
grim.
missed.
Also, there is something I have
Why
to
are we going
explain
in?
to you, Kushina said.
What's Melissa doing?
Naruto back up and looked at her. He frowned. What is it? Naruto
Oh, I don't
asked
have
in a
my thing
worried
yet.
tone.
Oh, he still died.
She looked at him. I was chosen to be the Nine Tails Jinchuriki from another land. I'm from the
Did he leave?
land of
I think he
eddies.
left.
Kushina said. Naruto was shocked. What? Naruto said in shock. What?
You don't
All
want
the other
this.
genin
You
yelled.
don't want this heat.
Why were
I
you
told you, you
chosen?
don't want this heat.
Why not someone else from the same land? Naruto yelled in confusion. Kushina just continued.
Ooh, hello.
You're right. I'm from another land.
Don't be scared.
But the land of fire and the land of eddies, as well as Hidden Leaf Village and Hidden Eddy Village, shared a deep bond. The Senju clan of the Hidden Leaf and the Uzumaki clan of the Hidden Eddy were distant blood relatives.
Oh.
Our people lived long, so the Eddy Village was also known as the Village of Longevity, and we specialized in sealing jutsu.
I actually disagree with that. She's the second most broken
shocking all the Jounin, Genin, Madara,
but
and
not this
Nagato.
cat.
Minato wasn't surprised and Naruto was shocked the most.
Oh my god.
We were also a rowdy bunch.
Yeah, we were just
The tetragram seal on your abdomen is based on a jutsu from our village, Kushina said. Naruto lifted his shirt and looked at his seal. Everyone else looked at it too in shock. And Minato, your father, learned various sealing jutsu from my mother.
My cat's useful.
Naruto, the symbol on your back. That is the symbol of the Hidden Eddy. Even today in the Hidden Leaf Village, that symbol is a symbol of friendship. Isn't it? Kushina said. Naruto nodded, looking at the spiral on his back.
A cat is the most broken.
So the Hidden Eddy Village? Naruto asked. Kushina looked down. It no longer exists. During the era of war, our sealing jutsu abilities were greatly feared, so the village was targeted and destroyed. Those who survived feared for their safety. They hid their identities and scattered throughout the region, Kushina said. Still, why were you chosen? Naruto asked in slight anger. It seems, even among the Hidden Eddy, I was born with chakra powerful enough to suppress the Nine Tails. When I was brought to the leaf, I wasn't told a thing. When I was finally told why I was there, I was nearly consumed by my loneliness. Then Lady Mito summoned me. She told me she was brought to be the vessel too, and she was lonely like I was. Then she told me something that changed my life, Kushina said, recalling and saying what happened. Now listen carefully. Indeed, we are the vessels for the Nine Tails. However, there is a way to find happiness even if you must live as a Jinchuriki. Mito said, then continued with a smile. First, by filling ourselves, Mito said. First, by filling ourselves with love, we would be able to live a happy life despite being the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, Kushina said, shocking Naruto. So you were happy even if you were a Jinchuriki, Ma? Naruto asked. Yes, Kushina said. Naruto started to tear up. He wiped his eyes quickly. Naruto, now why are you crying? Kushina asked. Naruto laughed. Because I'm happy, Naruto said, laughing some more. Everyone smiled.
I would know.
Kushina, would you like to tell them the whole story? I told them what happened after Naruto was born already. Minato said. Kushina nodded. So it all started 9 months before Naruto's birth, Kushina said, trailing off into the story. Congratulations, the nurse said. What? Kushina asked. Your due date is October 10th, the nurse said. Kushina smiled. Oh then, yeah, Kushina said excitedly. Huh? A baby? Minato asked, coming out of the kitchen of their home. I'm going to be a mother, you know? Kushina said happily. And I'm going to be a father, Minato said. A mother, you know? Kushina yelled excitedly. I'm going to be a father, Minato said excitedly. A mother, you know? Kushina said, running to Minato. Imagine that. I'm going to be a father, Minato said happily. Kushina jumped into his arms. Okay, you both must have been shocked to have Naruto if you said it that much, Kurenai said with a laugh. Everyone nodded. Kushina continued. Then, Sarutobi and his wife explained that my seal would be weak during childbirth. We made arrangements for me to give birth away from the village in case the nine-tailed seal were to break. When I was to give birth, Bawako took me there, and on the way I ran into my best friend Mikoto Uchiha. Naruto, your mother and my mother were best friends? Sasuke asked. In shock, Naruto shrugged and Kushina gasped. Sasuke? Kushina said. Sasuke nodded and she walked up to him. You lost all of your cute little baby fat. You were so cute back then, Kushina said. poking and prodding Sasuke's cheeks to the amusement of everyone else. She sat down and continued, "Oh, was it a girl?" Kushina asked, looking at a baby Sasuke. "It's a boy," Makoto said. "You thought I was a girl?" Sasuke asked in a disbelieving tone. Everyone else laughed. "So cute. What's your name?" Kushina cooed, blushing. "Sasuke," Makoto said, smiling. "Oh, you named him after the father of the third Hokage," Iwako said, smiling. "Yes, that way he'll grow up to be a strong shinobi," Makoto said. "You're going to be giving birth soon too, right, Kushina?" Makoto asked. Kushina nodded. "Well, you should pick out a name in advance," Makoto said, smiling. "I already have. His name will be Naruto," Kushina said, patting Sasuke on the head. "You and Naruto will be classmates, so get along and be friends, okay?" Kushina said to Sasuke. "By the way, does it really hurt?" Kushina asked. Makoto laughed.
Thank you, Shotgun, for
"So
the
there's
first
actually
sleep.
something that scares you, Kushina. I'm surprised,"
I don't know.
Makoto said with a laugh. "Let's go,
yeah,
Kushina. Your
doesn't
birth
matter.
is to be kept a secret.
Anyways, I'm gonna...
And if your labor pains start,
Okay, no, we just lost
don't
the
cry out,"
point.
Iwako said.
Because my star is not
"After we were
contesting.
in the barrier away from the village, I went into labor. It hurts,
Like, we
you
never
know?"
actually contested
Kushina
enemy
yelled in
points.
pain.
This is why we lost, by
Minato
the way.
tried
We
to
got
focus on the
game-moded.
seal, but couldn't because of Kushina's pained cries.
Also, how did they make
"Kushina,
so much money?
is
What
she
the fuck?
alright?" Minato asked. Iwako nodded. "Yes, now focus on the nine-tails seal," Iwako said. Minato nodded.
Thank you for the hydrate. Man.
"Hang in there, Kushina," Minato
Now,
said
can
with
you please
worry.
let your
"Hang in there, Naruto,"
die?
Minato
I need
said
the
with
money.
worry. "Stay put, Kyuubi," Minato said.
I hate this game.
And that's about it before Madara came into the picture. Naruto was in the world for 5 seconds before he was almost killed 2 times that night.
You have to
and apparently ever
fight at a
since,
disadvantage in order to
Kushina
play
said
the
with
objective,
anger.
but if you fight at a
Naruto looked
disadvantage, you lose the
horrified.
fight.
He jumped up from the floor and yelled,
It's actually so
"What?
stupid."
5 seconds before I was almost killed the first time," Naruto said in complete shock, Sharingan flaring due to his emotions being too intense. When he calmed down, his Sharingan went away. Everyone looked at him
I
and
remember
sighed.
last season where
"Wait
there
a
was
minute,
like a 2-week time
Naruto,
period
how do you have the Sharingan?"
where there
Shikamaru
was just
asked.
no
Naruto
payload
shrugged.
race because the game mode
Minato
would
chuckled
just crash.
nervously.
So they just
"Ask
took
that
it
guy
out.
over there,"
And that was
Minato
the greatest
said,
fucking
pointing
time.
at Madara, who put his hands up in a placating manner. He turned on
Matters the
Minato.
most on this mode.
"You told me he needed it
Best
sped up
times
right then
thing
and
ever.
there,"
Yeah, it was so
Madara
fucking good.
said. Minato sweat dropped. So Madara gave Naruto the Sharingan. "Okay then," Shikamaru said, getting a nod from the Jounin. "Nagato, whose side are you on?" Madara asked. Nagato's eyes widened and he walked over to Naruto and whispered in his ear, "Do you think you could get them to knock it off? They do this whenever they disagree," Nagato whispered. Naruto smiled evilly and walked in between the two fighting people. They shivered at his evil grin and the glint in his eyes. "You should both know not to argue in front of me," Naruto said in his best attempt at a menacing tone. He slapped his hands together and entered Nine-Tails chakra mode. He spread his arms and slammed Minato in one corner and Madara in another. Then he released the mode. "You can't die in a seal, so I put you both in a timeout. Dad said I could do anything in my mind," Naruto said with an evil smirk. Everyone burst into laughter. "Oh my gosh, Naruto," Nagato said, holding his sides as he laughed. Minato and Madara came back to the group with smirks. Then Minato looked outside through Naruto's eyes. "I think it's about time you left. It's been about 2 hours now," Minato said. Everyone nodded and Ino prepared to release the jutsu. Naruto ran and hugged Kushina before her chakra faded, and then he hugged Minato, who would stay for sure. "Remember, some people in this world will want this power for their own benefit," Minato said, poking Naruto's stomach. Naruto nodded in understanding.
Fuck you.
"Remember, I believe in you. Don't give up on your dream of becoming Hokage. Also, Jiraiya of the Sannin is your godfather," When you see him peeping, kick him for me. And
Okay,
remember,
oh my god.
Minato
No,
said,
Freya exists.
if you put the yellow flash of the leaf and the red-hot habanero together, you get the... Minato said,
Wow, yo,
letting
those
Naruto
skills,
answer it.
Freya. Did you see how
You
much
get the
skill
orange
that was?
spark. Naruto
Skill
said.
overflow.
Everyone
Genuinely.
smiled. The name did fit him. Maybe they would get him a cape that says that, like Minato's
Man, my
fourth
team's dead.
Hokage
Like,
cape. Ino started to
doesn't
release
matter
the
what I
jutsu.
do.
Everyone was fading from Naruto's mind, but
My
three
team-
more
my
words
team
were
still
heard
dies.
before they were back in the clearing. I love you, Minato said. Then everything faded. They were back in the clearing. They looked around to see a smiling Naruto. They all smiled as he started to jump around in happiness. And the Nine Tails explains where he got all of his stamina. Chuji said, sitting on the ground in exhaustion, everyone followed his example. They sat there for a few minutes, resting while Naruto ran around, completely full of energy. Okay, even with the QB, I still question if his stamina is even possible. Sasuke said. Everyone nodded, watching Naruto run around some more. After a little bit, they all walked back to Tezuna's house, everyone talking about what just happened when Kakashi had an idea. Naruto, can you enter that chakra mode and try running? I want to see how fast you can go, okay? Kakashi asked. Naruto nodded, activating his chakra mode. He then ran towards Tezuna's house and was there in a second. He rushed back. All they saw was an orange spark before Naruto stopped in front of them, still full of stamina and smiling.
No.
I got there in a second, Naruto said. Everyone gasped. They were a few miles in the woods. Even a fast Jounin took a few minutes to get over a mile on foot, and Naruto went over a few miles in a second. When they calmed down, Naruto went out of his chakra mode and continued walking. On the way, the Jounin talked behind the Genin. The orange spark, huh? I actually think it fits him, considering he likes orange too. Kakashi said. The other Jounin nodded. They could all see a new spark in Naruto's eyes since he met his parents. Seeing him interact with his parents made me think how much he really is like them, and it gave me an idea. What if we were to get him a cape like his father's? Kurenai said. All of them nodded. They had been thinking the same thing.
There we go, we got it.
Well, if we're getting him a cape, then it should have a restoration and replacement seal on it. So if he accidentally tears it or it is not fixable, it will just fix itself or replace itself. Asuma said. They all nodded in agreement. What should it look like? Kakashi asked. Everyone went into deep thought, and then Guy smiled. It should be red with black flames on the bottom of it, like his father's. Then it should also say orange spark on the back in black kanji and have a black inner lining. And also instead of blue on his jumpsuit, we should get him one with black in place of blue. It will all show his flames of youth. Guy all but yelled. They were lucky only a few genin heard it. They turned and nodded in agreement with their senseis. /N. His cape will be like the one when he fought the 6 Paths of Pain, but it will have orange spark written on the back in kanji like on Minato's cape.
Full tank mode.
By the way, how do we tell them we think Zabuza is still alive and will try to attack again in little less than a week? Asuma asked. They all frowned. I think we should just break it to them. Kakashi said. They all nodded. When got to the house, the Jounin told the Genin. What? But you said he was dead. All the Genin yelled. The Jounin chuckled nervously.
My body doesn't stay down.
Well, it turns out it was a fake hunter ninja, Asuma said sheepishly, totally out of character in the Genin's opinion. That means we're going to train you. We're going to train you to control chakra and see what your affinities are. Guy said in his usual confident voice. The Genin then looked determined. What about Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi's Sharingan? Or Naruto's Nine Tails chakra mode? Can't we use those? Kiba asked. The Jounin looked at Naruto, who looked like he spaced out. When he focused again, he turned to Kiba. My dad says those abilities are just tools, not crutches. We can't rely on them. Naruto said. The Jounin nodded in agreement, and the Genin looked at Naruto in shock. So now you can talk to your dad? Sasuke asked. Naruto nodded. I just heard his voice pop to life in my head. Naruto said. Everyone nodded in understanding. I see. So you just needed to visit your own mind to set up the link, then you could talk to your bijou or anything else sealed inside you. Shikamaru said. Another question he had was solved. Well, anyways, we're going to be training you to climb trees.
Wait.
Kakashi said. The genin gawked. What? Tenten asked in confusion. Without using your hands.
Go voltage.
Kakashi finished. The genin looked skeptical, then thought about it
Just
and
a monkey.
understood.
You guys win this.
Now, I suggest we all go to bed. We all have one
Get
large
his
room
ass.
down the
Yes.
hall. We're going to train tomorrow, so get a
There we
good
go.
night's sleep. Asuma said. All the genin nodded and got ready for bed. Naruto was the first one out. Amazing. He never gets tired
Nim, are you
because of
enjoying the
unlimited
ASMR?
stamina, and yet he's the first one out.
Say I love
Lee
monkeys
said.
in chat.
Everyone
if you do.
nodded, looking at the sleeping Naruto.
Like in-game
Then they
chat,
all went to
all
bed.
chat, match chat.
Meanwhile, the Jounin were downstairs talking. Something's been bugging me for a little while, Kakashi said. Everyone looked at him, and he continued. In Naruto's mind, Kushina said that the Uzumaki were related from the Senju, and both those clans have large amounts of life energy. When I was in ANBU, I was exploring one of Orochimaru's
she's not
layers where he
enjoying the
tried to
match,
fuse
guys.
Hashirama's DNA with children to get the bloodline back into existence. They usually didn't make it because they
Maybe
didn't have
five,
enough
but-
life energy to support Hashirama's life energy stored in his DNA. Kakashi said. They all thought about it and their eyes widened. Do you really think there's a chance, even if small, that he has Mokuton? Asuma asked. Kakashi nodded.
Quick.
First Kyuubi, then the Sharingan, and now possibly Mokuton? I think it's highly unlikely. Kurenai said. Kakashi shrugged. I wouldn't say so. Naruto is the most unpredictable ninja in the village. Kakashi said with a chuckle. Okay, but I still think it's unlikely. Kurenai said. Then they all went to bed. The next day. Okay, time to walk up a tree. Focus your chakra to your feet and walk up the tree. Mark your progress with Kanai. Kakashi yelled. All four Jounin were sitting on a branch watching the genin try to walk up the tree. Most of the genin got 1/4 of the way to 2/4 of the way. Even Lee, who just ran up since he couldn't use chakra, till they saw Naruto. Naruto focused chakra in his
Okay,
feet
I'm about
and
to
ran at the
unfriend
tree.
him. Why are we
He took one
buying
step on the
Colossus?
trunk and it exploded under his feet, throwing him back to skid on the ground. Ouch, he said, sitting up and looking at the exploded tree like everyone else. Everyone then looked at him. Kakashi thought some advice was in order. If you put too little
What is
chakra
it,
on the
Michael?
tree, you'll fall. Put too much and that happens. Kakashi called. Naruto
Flea.
nodded and took on a thinking pose. Then he had that bingo look that only some people saw. When you saw that, you would know he had an idea. So my feet stick to the tree if I get it right no matter where
couldn't
I
get
am
it
on the
in time,
tree?
but I did get on.
Naruto asked. Everyone got
Dude, but,
confused
like,
looks but
kill him.
nodded.
Okay, they killed
They
him.
watched as Naruto activated his Sharingan and watched his feet. He walked up and laid down, putting his feet against the tree, and he focused Sharingan active. They watched him for 5 minutes before he smiled. He then walked all the way to the top and everyone gasped. How? Was all the Jounin could say before Naruto jumped down and explained. If I sat and tested my chakra against the trunk on the ground, then memorized the amount with my Sharingan, then I could remember the amount and practice till I mastered it. Naruto said. Everyone was shocked. Then the Jounin and Shikamaru walked over to a tree and hit their heads against it multiple times, muttering, Baka, 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 Baka. Naruto just stood there till they all walked back. I can't decide if you're a genius or you just have your moments, Shikamaru said, walking to a tree and trying what Naruto did without the Sharingan. It even worked without it. Shikamaru then walked up the tree all the way to the top. Everyone else did the same. They mastered it by nightfall. The Jounin didn't know what it was, but there was something special about Naruto. He solved that problem and led everyone else to master it quicker than any of the Jounin had done when they were genin. Naruto was a leader. People wanted to follow him and be with him. The next day. Okay, we have the rest of the week to teach you some useful techniques, so please come up and take some chakra paper. Then, channel chakra into it. Asuma said. All the genin nodded and took some paper. Each of them were pretty normal till it came to Sasuke and Naruto. Okay, Sasuke, you're up, Kakashi said. Sasuke walked up and took the paper. He channeled chakra into it, One side burned and the other crinkled. Oh, you have fire
Dude,
and lightning.
fucking
Those are
missed the
strong in
first shot.
battle. Asuma said.
I kill him, by the
Sasuke
way, if I
nodded
don't miss
and walked
that.
away. Okay, Naruto, come up and channel chakra into the paper. Kakashi said.
No way,
Naruto
no way
walked
we're
up and took the
losing
chakra
this.
paper.
No
He
way
channeled
we're-
chakra into it and it split into four pieces and fell to the ground. Ha,
Like,
it
why
looks
am I
like
against
wind
the force
dash,
staff?
Kakashi said before being cut
With
off.
voltage on my team!
It's burning, crinkling, crumbling,
kill me.
moistening. Sakura, Sasuke, Niji, and Lee said in order. The Jounin looked down and their eyes widened. Naruto, could you do that again, please? Asuma asked. Naruto nodded and took another paper. The same
for
thing
the second
happened.
game in a row.
The Jounin held up a finger motioning for them all to wait a moment. They walked to the side of everyone. How? No one's ever had all 5 affinities, and certainly not a normal genin. Kurenai said. They all nodded and looked at Naruto, then turned back. Well, whoever said Naruto was your average genin? Kakashi asked. They all nodded. It appeared wind was his normal or primary affinity. The fire is probably from Madara, the lightning from Nagato, and the water and earth. I'm starting to believe Kakashi about the Mokutan theory. Asuma said. Everyone nodded but Kurenai. I refuse to believe anyone can have multiple bloodlines. Kurenai said, crossing her arms. They all frowned and looked at Naruto, who was looking at them in confusion. They motioned him over. He walked up to them. What is it, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked in a worried tone. Everyone just stared at him for a little bit, then spoke. It's not bad, but did you know that you have all 5 affinities? Guy asked. Naruto's eyes widened. What? Naruto asked in astonishment. They all nodded. The Kakashi spoke.
I'm just gonna run into
Don't let it go to your head. Like your father said earlier, it's a tool, not a crutch. Kakashi said. Naruto nodded in understanding and walked back to everyone else. The Jounin watched him and sighed. So, what do we teach them first? Kurenai asked. They thought about it and realized something. Wait a minute. Naruto's the only one with wind style, so he'll need to be privately trained, and Asuma needs to train his own team. Kakashi said, thinking. Maybe we could teach them water and earth jutsu first? Asuma suggested. They all nodded. For the rest of the day, all the genin learned different earth and water jutsu. Naruto ended up mastering every one of them, making everyone give it their all. The Jounin were confused. Naruto had the lowest scores in the class, and yet he was mastering every jutsu like a sponge. He never even had his Sharingan active unless it was measuring his own chakra. They decided he was a hands-on kind of person. They were right. Dang it. Every jutsu we throw out, he learns it. He's like a sponge that just keeps absorbing. Asuma said. All the Jounin nodded, then Kakashi had an idea. Maybe he's just like his father that way, more hands-on. I know Minato-sensei was always training for new jutsu like that, not just reading about them. Kakashi said. They all nodded and let it go. Naruto seemed to be more determined ever since he met his parents. He trained and worked harder, probably to make them proud. I think it's a good thing we only gave them 2 water and earth jutsu. If they get too strong too fast, they'll get arrogant and lose future battles. Naruto mastered it all, so maybe we can make him read some books for smarts. Kurenai said. They all thought about it and nodded. He does need more brains in his head. Maybe we can make his shadow clones red with him. Kakashi said. They all nodded. 5 days later. Stuff has gone differently. Naruto's father helped Naruto to understand precious people, and he never met Haku. Naruto and his clones had been trying to read the books the Jounin gave him for 5 days now. He was about 3/4 done with the Taijutsu book, and they were all going to guard the bridge today. A week had gone by, and the Jounin were expected Zabuza to make his move today. They were walking to the bridge when the Jounin felt a familiar chakra signature. It was Zabuza. They continued on to the bridge to find all the workers on the ground. What happened here? Tazuna asked. All the genin circled around him in a protective circle. Then Zabuza and the Hunter Ninja appeared out of the mist that covered the bridge. Back for round 2, Zabuza? Kakashi said all the Jounin next to him got into fighting stances. I guess you could that, but I won't lose this time. Zabuza said. Then Sasuke stepped forward.
Avoid so many people, but
That
not
hunter
you,
ninja
like you.
is my opponent,
Easy explode
Sasuke said, looking at the masked person. Zabuza chuckled.
Voltage is on
Oh,
the top.
Haku,
Yeah, I
it
have a
looks
weapon
like you have a
barrage,
rival.
So it should be fine.
Zabuza said in an amused tone. Kakashi had an idea.
Sanchez. Who the fuck is
This
Mr.
is Sasuke
Sanchez?
from the Uchiha clan. Kakashi said. Zabuza's eyes widened. Then he has the Sharingan too. Haku, are you up for this? Zabuza asked. Haku nodded. Sasuke charged at Haku and they got into a weapon fight. Senbon versus Kunai. Sasuke got knocked back and Haku made a hand sign.
What are we doing, Blade?
Secret Jutsu. Crystal ice mirrors. Haku yelled. Ice formed around Sasuke. He tried to burn it with a fireball, but it didn't
I
work.
missed the jump!
You'll use something hotter
Three
than
of
that
them
to
on me, and my
burn through
Jakey
this
doesn't even
ice,
push them. That's
Haku
crazy.
stated. She started to pelt Sasuke with Senbon. Naruto didn't have any jutsu strong enough to attack the ice, though. He made a shadow clone stay outside while he jumped in for Sasuke. He was pelted in the leg and couldn't move. Gah! Damn it! He yelled. His shadow clones was hit with something and dispelled. Naruto, can you move anymore? Sasuke asked. Naruto shook his head. His leg was so numb he wasn't even sure if it was even there. Damn it. Can you use Ninetales chakra mode to run through? Sasuke asked. Naruto frowned and shook his head. Haku gasped in fear at the word Ninetales. Is there any way you can use your wind nature to amplify my fire? Sasuke asked. Naruto frowned. No, they never got around to that. Naruto said. Sasuke cursed. Then what do we do? Sasuke asked. Naruto thought and came up with nothing. We have to endure it till someone can help us. We can fight a little, but if we move too much, we'll run out of energy to keep fighting. Naruto said. Sasuke nodded and looked for Haku. Another blast of Senbon came at them too fast for them to deflect. Naruto turned on his Sharingan and still couldn't track them. He kept it on and looked around for an opening. Damn it! Even the Sharingan won't work. There's no point wasting my chakra to keep it active. Naruto said, turning off his Sharingan and looking around. Luckily, Haku didn't see his Sharingan.
And then I just went on and played
I don't see an opening he won't stop us at. Sasuke said. Naruto nodded. They sat back to back. Kunai at the ready. Neither of them saw the Senbon flying at Sasuke. Naruto turned in time to see Sasuke fall to the ground, dead. He managed to catch him before he hit the ground. Sasuke, Naruto said, staring at Sasuke's eyes that were closing.
Okay.
Naruto, you have to live. Don't let everyone down.
Then,
You have to walk away from here. Don't die here. Sasuke said, closing his eyes. Naruto didn't notice that Haku hit nothing vital on Sasuke, and he just passed into a death-like state. Damn. If only I was stronger. I could have protected you. Sasuke, Naruto said, anger and pain filling inside him because he couldn't protect Sasuke.
No, it was
Suddenly,
in the middle of the night.
his eyes felt like they were being lit on fire and stabbed at the same time. He grabbed his eyes in pain. Gah! He said, holding his eyes in pain. He screamed, holding his eyes in pain. His now 3 Tomo Sharingan shifted into a new form. His eyes turned black with one large 6-pointed star, another smaller one, a hexagon shape around the pupil, a windmill-like shape around a red pupil. A slash N, a lot like Sasuke's Mangekyo with the star design. After the pain went away momentarily, Madara sent some chakra into Naruto's eyes, morphing it to the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan so he wouldn't go blind. It didn't change shape though. He looked up at Haku and gasped. His vision seemed much clearer than before. He saw Sasuke start to get up and he was relieved. Sasuke was alive. Then Haku saw this and threw for the pressure points in his neck. Naruto wasn't quick enough and the Senbon impaled themselves into Sasuke's neck. Naruto caught him and laid him down. He knew his friend was probably dead now, but it didn't matter. He said he would get out of this to Sasuke before he died. So he would. Haku saw Naruto's eyes and gasped. Naruto's eyes had changed. The boy panicked and threw some Senbon at Naruto's neck, hoping to make him go to sleep. Naruto yelled in sadness over Sasuke's death and would rose from the ground, engulfing him and Sasuke into an impenetrable shield. He was in a blind rage and didn't realize what had just happened. All he knew was that his friend was dead. Warm tears rolled down his face as he looked at Sasuke's
my
pale
time's dead
face.
again.
I'm so sorry, Sasuke. If I trained harder than I would have been able to protect you. It doesn't matter now. I promise you, I will get stronger and protect everyone else. No one else will die if I can help
missed
it.
everything.
Naruto
Nobody's
said,
looking at the
looking at
reveal.
Sasuke's face. Minato and Madara
Destroy
smiled
Brigana for me,
sadly
please,
but
to save
proudly.
my mentor.
Instead of wallowing, Naruto would take this and save his other friends. Naruto looked around and gasped. Was this
Legit,
wood?
nobody's looking
Everyone
at
in
the fucking
Naruto's
reveal.
mind watched with widened eyes. Naruto had unlocked the same bloodline as Hashirama Senju, the first Hokage. He had unlocked the Mokuton when he felt stress. What?
Dude,
Naruto asked to no one. No
I
one
wanna
dared
get
to
this
answer.
fucking reaper.
Naruto looked around and saw it was a large dome of wood. The wood was shielding them from the Sanbon that could be heard trying to pierce through. Meanwhile, all the Genin and Jounin were focused on their own tasks. The Jounin taking down Zabuza and the Genin guarding Tazuna in case anyone else came to kill him. No one noticed the small wooden dome. Naruto turned to look at Sasuke. His face saddened and he cried a little more. Everyone in Naruto's mind watched with
Also,
saddened eyes.
I just
Naruto
realized
had
what's the
just
fault we
lost
have.
his best friend. When Naruto turned away, he looked at the wooden dome. Oh great, how do I get out of here? But then again, earth and water techniques wouldn't be useful against ice. Naruto muttered to himself. He still wasn't sure why there was wood around them. Minato continued to think,
Yeah, okay, bro.
how could
okay,
Naruto
bro.
support two bloodlines
He
at
died,
once?
but he
Then
still
it hit
fucking
him.
soloed me. That's insane.
Of course, Naruto can have two bloodlines because one is based mainly on chakra and the other based on physical characteristics. The Mokuton bloodline is usually mixing both chakra
my
types
Ash is
together
dead
to make wood.
because my
But the
fucking-
Sharingan has to do with
my two
physical
support
appearance
died
to
in the
change
beginning.
looks, not chakra.
You
The
have to
bloodlines aren't
touch!
clashing together, so he can have
Oh
both.
my God.
Minato stated. Madara and Nagato's eyes widened in realization. That theory made perfect sense. They decided to let Naruto figure that out on his own though. Do you think we should tell him of
Guys,
his
no,
new
Rico.
abilities? Or let him figure that out on his own? Madara asked. Everyone
think
went
they need
into
to
thought,
nerf
then
blood
Minato
letters.
spoke.
They also need to change
I
the
can
logic
feel his
behind
eyes
blood letters
already morphing
because,
chakra to act on their own. I think
because of the
his new
simple
eyes
fact
are going to
it
let some leftover
fucking-
chakra out from the upgrade. He probably won't realize
do I
it.
even need this?
Let's
I
see
probably
which
don't,
attack his
do I?
eyes end up doing. Minato said. Everyone nodded at the
Probably
logic
get
and
more
watched.
AP, get more mind
Naruto
power.
thought of seeing out of the wood with his eyes. To his shock, the wood moved with his thoughts. Okay,
Actually, you know what? I will
Naruto
take
muttered.
Spike
He looked
anyway.
out to see Haku, Senbon in hand, ready to attack. He
Weapon
felt chakra
power
pool
will
in
be
his
better
eyes
than
and he
AP.
panicked. Everyone watched as his eyes activated the jutsu
Anyways,
without him knowing
as
and
I
they
was
gasped.
saying,
It was Shursui Uchiha's Kodo
we have a 25
Amitsukami.
minute quick play queue,
Please,
feels bad.
why are you attacking me? Zabuza just uses you as a
As I was
weapon.
saying, they need to
Attack
change the
him.
logic behind
We don't
blood
want to be
letters.
enemies with you.
Because A,
Help us
why,
fight.
why does it apply
Naruto
to
said.
Attire?
Haku suddenly acted like he was being
Why does
commanded
it
by an order he
scale
couldn't
so
deny.
weird? Because it does
He
30,
nodded
right?
and
So it's
walked out of the
supposed to be
mirrors to attack
60
Zabuza.
on
All the Jounin were
100%.
shocked when suddenly Haku
That is
walked up
currently
and started
10
to
damage
attack
a second.
Zabuza.
It's not 10
Haku?
damage a second. It does
What are you
more
doing?
Than that.
Zabuza asked in a startled tone. Haku continued to attack. What's going on here? Kakashi? Guy asked. Kakashi's eyes widened and he turned towards the ice dome. Naruto was now covered in the dome again, trying to tend to Sasuke. Kakashi turned back to the others.
And they're nano
Take care of Zabuza. I have to help Naruto and Sasuke.
Love to see it.
They're trapped. Kakashi said. The Jounin nodded and Kakashi
I want
slashed
gadgets
through
for
the ice
destroyer
with
flying
Chidori.
characters. There's a
He
gadget.
looked down
It's
to
called,
see a dome of wood, about 3/4 the
it's called
size of the
vortex
ice dome.
gadget.
Someone inside the
You
ice
put
would
it
only
and
be
then
able to
there's a
squeeze
vortex
around
and
the
they
wood.
can fly.
Naruto, Sasuke, what happened? Was I right about Naruto's Mokuton? Kakashi
They just
wondered.
forgot I exist,
He
I
applied a
guess.
small voltage in his hand, making a miniature Chidori. He then lowered his hand onto the wood. Cutting it all away revealed Naruto crying over Sasuke, trying to pick him up.
Thank you.
Naruto? What happened? Kakashi asked. Naruto looked up with his new eyes.
Die.
Kakashi took a step back in
I
shock.
killed 3 people.
Naruto
but
had
lose the
gained
fight,
what
by
looked
the
like
way.
the Mangekyo Sharingan, but it was different. Kakashi could tell Madara had applied chakra to give Naruto the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Haku threw Senbon at Sasuke. Even with the Sharingan, we couldn't see them coming and Naruto said, looking at Sasuke again, and another wave of tears washed over him. Kakashi felt an ache in his heart. Naruto just witnessed what he had witnessed when he was on a team with Obito and Rin. Then Kakashi thought of something. Haku could have put Sasuke into a temporary death state. He did recall Zabuza saying Haku was too
I think
soft.
she might have gotten a health back.
Naruto, do you remember what Haku did to Zabuza before? Kakashi asked.
I don't have slap
Naruto's
yet.
new eyes widened and he
Yeah,
nodded.
bro. Tried solo
Okay,
me again.
let's pull out the Sunban or else
That's
he really
fucking
might
crazy.
die. Kakashi said. He and Naruto then pulled out the Sunban quickly. Kakashi then looked at Naruto's eyes. Naruto, do you remember what happened before? Kakashi asked. Naruto nodded slowly. Yes, I made a shadow clone to stay with Tazuna while I saved Sasuke. When I ran in and grabbed him, I got hit in the leg. We were stuck and Haku was throwing the Senbon so fast not even our Sharingans could follow them. We didn't see some coming and they hit Sasuke in the neck. I caught him and laid him down.
And it still killed me.
Although he had died and my eyes hurt, Naruto trailed off thinking. Kakashi looked at him and realized he didn't know his eyes changed. Naruto then continued. Sasuke got back up and I was glad.
I wish
Haku saw and hit him before either of us could react. Sasuke fell again. I turned and laid him down. I promised him before I would make it out alive, so I turned and looked at Haku. He threw Senbon at me and I don't remember what happened clearly. It was like I was in a dream. I yelled and would shot up. It went all around us. I don't know what happened. Naruto said. Kakashi then realized he was right. Naruto had enough life force to support the Mokuton, and he had unlocked it in a time of need. I was confused what happened. When I was prepared to fight back, I imagined at least seeing through an eye hole that was as much as I would need to throw my kunai, but the wood actually shifted to the way I wanted it. It opened enough for me to see out, and I saw Haku ready to attack. I panicked because chakra pooled behind my eyes without me realizing it. When it disappeared, I tried to talk to Haku. I asked him why he was fighting us when Zabuza was using him as a weapon. I told him he should fight with us against Zabuza. Then, he acted like he was given a command and left. Naruto said, Kakashi realized what had happened after the explanation.
And I played against two of them already.
It looks like I'll have to contact Tenzo later, so we can train Naruto in his Mokuton and Sharingan. Kakashi mused to himself with amusement. Naruto will talk about the wood and your eyes later. Right now, we need to support everyone else. Do you know how to make the wood move? Kakashi asked. Naruto looked iffy to him. Kakashi thought as much. Well, I don't know how I used the wood, but I can use my Sharingan. I think it leveled up because I can see better than before. Will it help? Naruto asked. Kakashi nodded and picked up Sasuke. He brought Sasuke to the Genin to guard and then went to where the Jounin were. They then saw Zabuza slash at Haku in defense.
That's a thing?
Haku, stop. What's gotten into you? Zabuza yelled.
What the hell?
The Jounin just watched with widened eyes. Then they saw Kakashi and Naruto come up. What happened?
I have a better
Naruto
idea.
asked, watching Haku and Zabuza fight. Kakashi motioned for the Jounin to not tell Naruto about his new ability. Yet, well, they got into a fight when Haku accidentally hit Zabuza. Guy said Naruto believed it.
But the Hazard is not
Nice
good.
excuse,
It just
guy.
exists.
All the
And
Jounin
it's
thought, knowing
all about
Naruto
a game,
believed it.
So much harder.
What do we do?
Or like
I
so
think
much
they're
more painful.
evenly
Not
matched.
necessarily harder, just more
Naruto
painful.
said, watching the two jump at each other. All the Jounin nodded. Then they
How do
saw
you
Naruto's
fucking know?
eyes and tensed.
Like,
Kakashi
and
motioned
he
for
gets
them
it.
to not mention
He
it
fucking
again.
gets it.
They would explain
Die.
everything later. Haku,
How is he alive?
stop. Why are
What?
you doing this? Zabuza yelled. He started to think he would have no choice but to
How
kill
the
her.
fuck did he live
He
that,
swung
by
his
the way?
sword and dealt a fatal
Excuse
blow
me,
to
what?
Haku's side. I'm sorry, Zabuza, Haku said,
I hit him
throwing
with
more
Zipgris and
Senbon,
spiked gloves.
disabling Zabuza's arms and
this
fell to
fucker
the
still
ground
didn't
dead.
fucking die.
Then they heard slow clapping. They all turned to see Gato and an army of bandits at the end of the
fire.
bridge. So, this is how it turns out. As Zabuza,
Wait,
a man
yes,
in
numerical,
sunglasses
that's
said,
how.
smiling
The fuck, you're just
maliciously.
healed.
Gato,
Too much.
I don't understand.
You can
Why are you
outkill
here?
instant. Fuck
Who are
off.
all these thugs you've brought with you?
Neither can
Zabuza asked. Gato laughed.
Oh, that's
There's been a
worth it.
slight change in plans.
Okay.
You'll die here. You're too expensive. If you could take out some of these thugs too while you're at it. Gato said. Zabuza growled. Can you handle that, demon of the
There is still
mist?
run players
You look
out
about
there
as
doing 2k
demonic
damage
as a
in
wet
1-5.
kitten.
Yep, they
Gato
definitely do
said,
exist.
making all the bandits laugh.
They're all gonna have ults, by the way.
Well, it seems we have no quarrel now.
This.
Zabuza said to the Jounin. They all nodded. Gato
can't
walked
lose the
up
round
and kicked
because we don't
Haku's
want
body
to
that
have
was
team
in the
armor.
middle of his army and the Jounin.
Come on, you wanna push me.
Hey,
You know you want
don't
to.
do that. Naruto yelled. He tried to stop Gato from abusing Haku's lifeless body, but was held back by Kakashi. At this
I missed
point, all the
every
Genin
fucking
but
shot.
Sakura and
That's
Tazuna were
crazy.
standing
That's
behind
fucking
Kakashi, who
insane.
sat
Why
behind
am I
Naruto.
so bad at this
The
game?
Jounin cast them looks telling them to stay and then watch the scene in front of them.
How is my...
Are
Wait,
you
where
just
did
going
my
to let him
gun?
do that, Zabuza? You worked with Haku
What is
all
enemy
those
brick
years and he
building?
means
What
nothing
the
at all
fuck?
to you? He lived just to serve
We're
you,
about to
and for
lose
what?
this one, aren't we?
Do you still think he's a tool? Naruto said.
Reaper didn't even
Everyone
loot
saw
yet.
Zabuza cry and gasp. Your words cut deep, deeper than any blade. While he fought you, his heart was breaking in two.
Fuck you.
You see, Haku was always too soft
You
and too
die. I
kind.
thought it was gonna fade
Can you
that,
toss
but I
me your
guess not.
kunai? Zabuza
was
asked.
pretty
Naruto
convinced he
reached
was
for
gonna
his
live.
kunai. Sure, Naruto
Yeah.
said as he threw the kunai.
Anna
Zabuza
definitely
caught
needs
it in
to
his
get all
mouth
of her
and
HP
charged.
back.
He
Doesn't
killed
matter.
a lot of bandits before finally making
my
it to the
one.
back. Stop him. He's the devil, Gato yelled. Backing up, Zabuza
just
stabbed
have to
Gato in the
wait.
chest and threw him into the water. He tried to walk back but fell to the
The more
ground,
progress we have, the
sword
higher,
sticking from his back.
the higher
Naruto
the chance
winced
it is
and looked
that we don't
away.
lose this.
Don't look away. If you live like a warrior, this is the way you die. Kakashi said. Naruto looked back at Zabuza. Madara didn't want the image glued into Naruto's mind and made his Sharingan not remember that image only. The bandits then turned to the ninja and smirked. They then moved to reveal the forms of Inari and
Okay, my
Tsunami.
entire team is just
Everyone
dead.
gasped. While you were fighting, we went and got hostages. Now, give us money or we kill them.
Just
One
don't
bandit
wanna
yelled,
play this anymore.
holding a
I
blade
really
at their
don't.
throats. Everyone's eyes widened. What were they going to do? Then Naruto
It's
was
not
in his
fun.
mindscape. Naruto, I've seen what you have
What is
done
my
so
Zen even
far.
building?
You have proved yourself to me and I respect that. I'll help you. Bump your chakra with mine. Kyubi said. Naruto looked skeptical. Minato came
Okay,
up
I'm
and
going
nodded
fucking
in an
crazy.
approving
Where's
way.
clarity? I need
Naruto
clarity
hit
to
his
save
fist
me.
with Kyubi's and smirked. Kyubi did too. Naruto stood up in front of the cage and held his stomach. He turned his head. You're not that bad, you know? Naruto said, making Kyubi chuckle. He twisted the seal, undoing it. He held out his arms as the cage was about to open. Let's become a two-man team, Kurama, Naruto said with a smile. The cage flew open and everyone in Naruto's mind smiled. Naruto had proved himself to the Nine Tails. With a little talk from Madara, Minato, and Nagato, of course. They just told him reasons Naruto was different and he ended up respecting him. Naruto's body blasted power. Then it spread throughout his mind, the Nine Tails power and his own. Then he was outside his mindscape. Everyone looked at Naruto as he started to glow. It spread until it was the normal Nine Tails chakra mode. Then he gained a cape that flew behind him. The Jounin watched as he smiled. Naruto? What did you do? Kakashi asked. Naruto looked at him with a smile. I'm a two-man team now, Naruto said. Everyone's eyes widened at what he said. You mean? Kyubi actually? You and Kyubi are friends now? Asuma asked. Naruto nodded and everyone gasped at the accomplishment. They knew that Naruto's efforts had finally reached Kyubi and he respected him. Naruto looked forward. Everyone kept their eyes on him. He now had a cape flying behind him. The bandits gasped and were about to slit Tsunami and Inari's throats when there was an orange spark where Naruto had been. When they finished moving the knife, the two were gone and with the ninja. So fast, the Genin and Jounin said. Looking at the new Naruto, he looked slightly more mature in this form. It was in his features. Inari and Tsunami gasped and looked at him. And Naruto.
Everybody, when
Inari
I say
said.
die, you die.
Naruto put him down and smiled. Heroes always arrive to save people in the nick of time, you know? Naruto said. Inari's eyes widened and sparkled. The adding of, you know, made everyone know it really was Naruto. The Jounin and Genin smiled. Naruto had befriended the Nine Tails, and in a good way too. Now, Naruto said,
I
standing up and turned towards the bandits. They flinched when he looked at him. I suggest you leave this land alone, Naruto said. The bandits laughed. Everyone on Naruto's side
she's
frowned.
just
Why should we? There's only a few of you
Why are
and
we
lots
not
of
on
us.
Brig?
We're going to destroy this village for everything it has. One bandit
Okay.
yelled.
big rally.
Naruto looked at
Big
him and
things are
frowned.
happening.
Are you sure about that? Naruto said, making a familiar hand sign.
okay.
Kagebunshin no Jutsu.
Entire team is
Naruto
fucking dead.
yelled. 20 cape wearing, glowing, and super fast Narutos
He's dead, though.
appeared. Some of the bandits ran and others stayed.
Oh, okay, he aimed
Naruto
to the
turned
top.
to Kakashi. Could you help me out, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked.
You're actually
Kakashi
so
nodded.
fucking pathetic. This is the third solo
Kagebunshin no
only, by the
Jutsu.
way, from this saga.
Kakashi said. About 30 bloody Kakashis appeared. Kakashi style. They all said in unison. Naruto smiled. Shadow clone jutsu. Kakashi style. Naruto thought with a laugh at the lat part. The bandit screamed and ran away,
I don't believe
jumping
it's
off the
there.
bridge
Diana
and
is
into a
not
small
here,
boat.
no?
Naruto and Kakashi dispelled their clones. Naruto turned, smiling. So, you've become friends with the Nine Tails? Kurenai asked. Naruto nodded. With some help
Okay,
from Dad, Madara,
what?
and Nagato, of course. They
What just
talked to
happened?
Kurama and he called me
How
into
did I
my
die? I
mind.
was full HP.
Now we're a two-man team in one. Naruto said.
Puzzle definitely does
Everyone
not do
smiled,
enough
then
in
got
Slash
confused
to kill me
looks.
with this.
Wait a minute. Kurama? Who's that? Shikamaru and Kakashi asked. Naruto laughed.
Are we about to lose
It's Kyuubi's
this? Are we
real
about
name.
to lose this?
Turns out, tailed beasts have names. His is Kurama. Naruto said. Everyone nodded in understanding except Inari, Tsunami, and Tazuna, who didn't understand what they were talking about and
yeah,
ignored
and we
it.
fucking just...
Then they heard Sakura. Guys,
We
Sasuke's
actually lost
alright.
this.
He's alive. He's alright.
Dude, these guys
Sakura
don't deserve
yelled.
to win. They genuinely
Everyone turned
don't,
and
we're not
Naruto
gonna
smiled with
come back
tears
from
in his
this.
eyes. Everyone saw an orange flash and then Naruto was by Sasuke's side, helping him limp to the group. Naruto?
But my team also
Sakura
don't deserve
asked,
to win, so
seeing
what are we
Naruto
doing?
glowing with a cape. What happened to you?
Just fucking...
I understand the glowing, but when did this form get a cape? Sasuke asked in astonishment. Now I'm friends with Nine Tails. His
Genuinely
name is
lost.
Kurama.
Like, what
I
do
have full
what can I
control
even
of his
do?
power,
Is
so
there
now I
anything
have a
can
cape.
do?
Naruto said, shocking Sasuke and Sakura. What? They both yelled. Naruto just laughed and continued walking Sasuke up to the group. Everyone was staring at his new form. When they got Sasuke up to the group and he was sat down, they all rested. Except Naruto. All they saw were orange sparks flying in the air as Naruto ran around them in circles. They couldn't see him, but they could see the orange sparks of chakra he was leaving behind. Kurama laughed at his behavior. As long as he was just using the chakra to run around, Kurama would be full of chakra because he molded chakra quickly. Great. Konoha has another speed demon. He's even worse than his father
20
was.
seconds
Guy
to
said.
go.
Naruto
Wow.
stopped in a sitting position. Everyone laughed at the joke and rested before heading
New
back
strat.
to
I'm
Tazuna's
just
house.
gonna ignore my
When they
team the entire
arrived,
game,
the
kill
Jounin led
support,
Naruto up
and
to their
die.
room and held up a
That's
mirror
what's
for
gonna
him.
happen.
He gasped. His eyes had changed.
Hopefully
lot.
my team can win a 4v3
W, what is
without
this?
support.
Naruto stuttered
Into
out.
them.
Kakashi just looked
the
into the
idea.
mirror from behind Naruto. It's the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Kakashi said simply,
What was
laying a
that?
hand on Naruto's shoulder.
For who?
It has
Everyone here
multiple
is
techniques
squishy.
it can do. Considering you have Madara's power with your eyes, I
He's
would say
getting
you could do all of
6%
it, so
from
here they
Volskaya
are.
to
The
everyone on
Tsukuyumi,
the team.
a powerful genjutsu that can morph a person's sense of time so it feels like days in a few seconds. The Eternal Black Flames, Amaterasu, which is an inextinguishable black flame which can reduce an enemy to ash and won't stop burning till it consumes everything or you stop it. Be careful with that one. Susanoo, which will summon a massive ethereal warrior, it can block 99% of all attacks and
Are
will
you
move
kidding
when you
me?
move.
Are you kidding?
It's like a puppet. I would suggest you only use
The
that in
breakable
situations
fence.
with
The
multiple
breakable
enemies.
fence.
The
Just save
Kamui,
the
which
brig, by the way.
teleports someone or something to another private dimension to be brought
Just
back in another
fuck
location.
my life.
Then finally, Kodo Amitsukami. It allows the user
they
to
got
enter their
released.
opponent's mind and manipulate them by giving them false experiences, making it seem as if they were
Hey,
doing
Fomin,
things
thank
of
you
their
for the
own
lurk,
free will.
appreciate it.
I suggest you be careful
I'm
with that
hoping
one.
you didn't catch me
Kakashi
just
finished. Naruto
freak the
looked
fuck
like he was
out.
going to pass out. By the way, when you manipulated the wood on the bridge,
No, but the
you
thing is,
unlocked
the
the first
entire
Hokage's
breakable
bloodline,
fence was
the Mokuton.
broken, except for that
Kakashi
tiny
said
little
all the
pillar.
Jounin prepared for however Naruto could react. Naruto
Tiny
reacted the
fucking
only way
pillar.
he could at a moment like this. Thud.
I missed. How do I miss that?
Naruto.
It's
All
like
the
it
Jounin
was
yelled,
such an easy fucking
seeing
kill.
Naruto passed out on the
Instead, I
ground
had
from
to waste
shock.
my entire
In a
magazine on
second,
it, and
all
I
the
died
genin
because
were
of it. At
upstairs
least I
having
did
heard the
kill him.
loud thud from downstairs. They looked down to see Naruto on the ground. What happened to him? Kiba asked.
Nah,
Kakashi just rubbed his head sheepishly. He couldn't take
But-
so much news in one day,
Yeah.
I suppose. Kakashi said.
I'm
All
doing
the
better than
Jounin nodded.
Voltage.
Then Kakashi picked Naruto up and laid him in his bed. All the Jounin sat down and waited. Naruto would probably wake with a start when he remembered and processed the news. What did you tell him to make him pass out?
Yeah,
Shikamaru
okay, but
asked
like,
with a chuckle.
What are we doing?
He wasn't expecting the reply he got. Well, when he thought Sasuke died on the bridge, he suffered great trauma, thus unlocking the Nagikyo Sharingan. Then,
I love
Madara
how
pushed chakra
the
to his
whip
eyes
shot,
to
even though I
upgrade
was
it
like
to the eternal
on her
Mangekyo
ass, it
Sharingan.
still got lit on
If he
fire,
didn't, Naruto would have gone blind over
which
time.
is supposed to happen only
Kakashi
when
said.
you're far
All
away.
the genin gasped at the thought. Then, when he was angry at Haku,
Yeah, I
he
know who you
unlocked his
are.
own family's bloodline. Do you remember how Kushina said that the Uzumaki were related to the Senju and how they both had a large life force? Kakashi
She hits
asked.
those, I guess.
All the genin nodded. Realization
I'm
struck
gonna die,
Shikamaru long before
probably.
anyone else.
Yeah, cause Hazard exists,
No way.
man. You're so
But
fucking
that
funny.
bloodline died with the first Hokage.
Rico's gonna
Shikamaru
ult, he
said
wants
in a
to.
shocked tone. Kakashi nodded, and the rest of the genin realized what bloodline Kakashi
Least
was talking
predictable
about.
Rico ult,
The
by the way.
Mokuton. W what? H he now H has the S Sharingan and the
I
M
can't.
Mokuton?
I actually can't. We're
Hinata
losing this game,
stuttered.
probably.
The Jounin nodded. I don't
'Cause I
care
don't
what
think they
else
make
he
it in
has.
time.
I'm not the only one left who has the Sharingan and he can understand me. And
Come on,
he
make
helped
it
me
in
give
time,
up
make it
on
in time.
revenge. Sasuke said,
Excuse
shocking
me, what? They
everyone.
did make it in time.
Then they remembered that
Huh?
Madara had talked Sasuke out of revenge. Well, do you all want to wait here with us till he wakes up? I have a feeling he's going to wake up with a yell. Kurenai said. The genin nodded and sat down. 10 minutes later, Naruto woke up. Gah! What? Naruto yelled, shooting up in bed, making everyone
Okay,
jump
apparently
with a yell.
Voltage heard what I said.
Well, ahem. Good, you're
Listen,
awake.
I never said
Kakashi
anything
said,
bad about you as a
standing
person.
against the wall,
I just
he
said
walked
that
up
you're
and
not
sat
very
down
good
next
as
to
a player.
Naruto. What
Which
is
is okay,
true,
you don't
or was
have
I
to be.
dreaming? Naruto said. All the genin chuckled at Naruto's expression of shock. Yes, it was true. You have the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan
That
and
Blade
the
saved me.
Mokuton.
Did she?
Asuma said,
Did she fucking
somewhat
save me?
disbelieving himself. Naruto started to fall back, about to pass out again, and Kakashi caught him. Remember, these are just tools, not crutches. You can't depend on them in battle, Kakashi said. Naruto nodded in understanding. Now, I want you to try something, Kakashi said, taking out a branch from behind him. What am I supposed to do with this? Naruto asked. Kakashi, I smiled and handed him the branch. Just push your chakra into it. I want to test it and see if it works, Kakashi said. Naruto nodded and pushed chakra into the branch. Everyone gasped and Kakashi's eyes widened. The branch grew new leaves of all colors. Green, red, yellow, blue, orange, brown, even purple and pink. W what? Naruto asked. Kakashi continued to stare at the multicolored branch for a minute, then looked at Naruto. You seem to have a very strong version of the bloodline. You may even match the first's abilities when you are older, Kakashi said in surprise and shock. How do you know Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked, confused. I know because my friend Tenzo told me how he found out. He also uses Mokuton, Kakashi said, shocking Naruto. Kakashi took the branch and put it outside. The colors faded after leaving contact with Naruto's chakra. When he came back, Naruto had a red face and was tangled in vines, and everyone else was visibly holding in laughter. What happened? I was gone for 1 minute, Kakashi said. Help me, Naruto said, eyeing the vines wrapped around him. Everyone
I
burst
don't
out
hate
laughing, and when they were done,
continuing.
Shikamaru spoke. When you left the room to put the branch out, the plant in the window shot up and wrapped Naruto up. He had no
You
idea
return
what
to
to do
witness
and turned into
nothing,
that
'cause I'm
mess
just
over
gonna
there.
keep losing.
Shikamaru said, pointing
What's
from the
gonna
window
happen?
where the plant was and to Naruto, who was wrapped up in
Games
vines.
are not gonna be
Kakashi
fair, bro.
laughed and helped Naruto out of the
Game is not
vines.
gonna be fun.
When he was done, Guy brought Naruto a box and handed it to him. It's something we thought you would like. Put it on, then come downstairs so we can see, Kakashi said. Then they all left the room. Naruto opened the box to find 10 jumpsuits like his, but the blue was replaced with black. Then he found one cape at the bottom. It was red with black flames on the bottom. On the back was black kanji for orange spark. Cool. It's just like Dad's. Naruto said. He put on one of the black and orange jumpsuits along with the red and black cape. He looked in the mirror and smiled. It fit him perfectly. Then he changed his blue headband's fabric with a long black one. If it were windy, it would fly with his cape. He walked down the stairs to where everyone was waiting in the kitchen and dining room. When he came into view, the genin gasped and the jounin's eyes widened. /N. Basically, he looks like what he does in Shippuden clothes-wise. Also, he will wear the cape from now on because it's a gift and he loves it. He looks so much like his father with that cape on. We chose the right size too, the jounin thought, staring at Naruto with widened eyes. Wow, was the only word all of them said at once. They stared at Naruto for another minute and he smiled. Like it? Naruto asked. They all nodded and Kakashi stepped forward. Oh, and Naruto, it has special seals on it, so if it is ever destroyed or damaged, it will fix itself. Watch, Kakashi said. He took a kunai and cut a hole in the cape. A second later, the area around the cut glowed and it fixed itself. Wow, that's so cool. Thanks, Naruto said. Kurama hummed in agreement. Minato, Nagato, and Madara smiled and nodded too.
We love to see
Okay,
it.
let's go help build the bridge, Kurenai said. Then they left to help build the bridge with Tazuna. Naruto went into his chakra mode and ran around them, leaving orange sparks. Then he stopped in front of them in his normal mode, cape flying behind him. Then they all started to run towards the bridge, most of them watching as Naruto's cape just seemed to fly behind him like he had it for a lifetime. When they got there, they helped to build the bridge. It didn't take long with Naruto's shadow clones. 1 week later, they were about to leave. Don't worry, we'll come back and visit,
at least 3
Naruto said. Inari quivered.
With
You swear you will? Inari asked, holding in tears. Of course we will, and Inari, it's okay to cry if you want. There's nothing against it. Go for it, Naruto said, holding in tears. Who says I want to cry? And if it's all right, then why don't you go on and cry? Inari said, putting on a manly act. No, you first, Naruto said, quivering and holding in tears. They both stared at each other, tears threatening to rush out. Forget it, Naruto said, turning around and crying anime tears. Everyone inside and outside Naruto's mind sweat dropped. Boys can be so pathetic, Sakura thought, watching Naruto cry. They started to walk away, and the villagers decided to name the bridge the Great Naruto Bridge.